Welcome into the Slater Family Ice Arena. Bowling Green playing a long-anticipated series against the St. Thomas Tommies here in Bowling Green for the first time this season and for the third and fourth time in the season series. Ben Koyak here from the Falcon Media Sports Network, here with Nathan Burkett as well. Nathan, it's going to be a pretty good one, I think, this weekend, and one that really has some postseason apparitions as well.
Absolutely. Every weekend in the CCHA is a good weekend. Don't think we've had a bad matchup all year, but tonight especially will be big as BG currently sits at 4th place. St. Thomas right below them in 5th place. Top 4 get a home playoff spot, and we all know with a crowd like the Bleacher Creatures and the rest of the fans here at the Slater Family Ice Arena, that home ice advantage truly means something here at BG.
Truly looks like it's going to be a very good turnout here in the Slater Family Ice Arena. As we said, but like you said just a moment ago, it is getting pretty tight there in the middle of the CCHA, battling for that home playoff spot. Bowling Green's, as you said, sitting in that 4th spot, a pretty sizable amount of points percentage ahead of St. Thomas. But, you know, it's a 2-game series. There's 6 points available, and if St. Thomas takes 2, they will jump Bowling Green in the standings and continue their rise all the way up. They actually sat in 8th at one point in the CCHA and have risen all the way up to 5th, and now they can make it even farther. We will also actually right now run down the rest of the CCHA because this is going to be a big weekend for a lot of the CCHA, not just Bowling Green. So Bowling Green and St. Thomas, 4 and 5. Number 1 and number 2, Augustana and Minnesota State play at 8 o'clock today and 7 o'clock tomorrow in Mankato, Minnesota, at the home of Minnesota State. That is a huge series as Augustana is trying to hold on to their 1 seed. And if they split and either Michigan Tech or Bowling Green wins out, there can be some leapfrogging going on there. And then Michigan Tech plays Bemidji State, which is always a tough series for them, but they have it at home. So they should be taking a couple of real nice wins there before Augustana next week. But Nathan, you know, it's going to be a real tough one for Bowling Green. This is turning into a little bit of a rivalry series between Bowling Green and St. Thomas. It gets some pretty good animosity going, and it's pretty high scoring normally as well.
Absolutely, and you mentioned this in your preview that you wrote for this week, as well as I've kind of mentioned it in previous series that I've been able to join you for our broadcast for. A lot of times we've been talking recently about, like, even if BG isn't necessarily winning some of these games, they'll split series and we'll be like, well, they played good. I'm confident in the playoffs. It's starting to the point where that no longer matters. It simply comes down to, it doesn't matter if it's a good game or an ugly game. You just got to win games. You got to collect as many points, and this is a weekend against starting to become a rival team in St. Thomas where you got to collect hopefully all 6 points.
Earlier in the season, Bowling Green played St. Thomas, and it was a really good game followed by a not-so-good game. Very tight first game between Bowling Green and St. Thomas, 2-2 tie. Head into the shootout, and Jack Blake, actually, who has not seen the lineup since around that time, unfortunately, but he did score the shootout winner for Bowling Green, took them 2 points in the CCHA, and then unfortunately the next night it was a 6-3 win for St. Thomas over Bowling Green, a spanking that they put on Bowling Green. Quite an offensive display that they've seen through the rest of the season. That's kind of foreshadowing how they're going to play the rest of this season as well, as they've taken care of business. They've split with Bemidji, split with Minnesota State, had some pretty good series in there as well with some sweeps as well of Lake Superior State and Ferris State. So they've done a very good job so in the last couple of matchups. Nathan, it's a star-studded roster for St. Thomas, pretty underachieving most of the way this season as well. But what are some players that you want to highlight for this game?
Absolutely. People are going to talk about Cooper Gay, second in the CCHA in power play goals, also historically dangerous against the Falcons. He's a Falcon killer out here. But I want to point out Liam Malmquist. He leads the CCHA in points overall. Not goals, though, unfortunately. That's all Cooper Gay for this team, St. Thomas. But Liam Malmquist leads the CCHA, the entire conference, in points with 32. He is also leading the CCHA and the entire NCAA in shorthanded goals, and he's also 3rd in power play goals. So we talk about, like, how sometimes, especially recently, BG's power play has started to struggle. Well, now they got to be careful because not only are they have to focus on trying to break through and finally get a goal on the power play, they also have a guy who has 3 shorthanded goals who can make them pay if they make a mistake. And the last home series against Augustana, they made a mistake and they let Joey Del Greco get a shorthanded goal. Now we have a true shorthanded goal looker. He's not out there just to kill the penalty. He is out there looking to score a goal.
one of the most dangerous aspects of this St. Thomas team is that power play and the penalty kill, which quite often the players inhabit both of them. Liam Malmquist, Cooper Gay, and Lucas Wallen are normally both on the power play and normally both on the penalty kill as well. Lucas Wallen we didn't mention, but he's been pretty good this year as well. 10 goals, 16 assists, a little bit of a blend between Cooper Gay and Liam Malmquist. He is the captain as well, so you got some leadership on that power play. Cooper Gay, the leading goal scorer for St. Thomas with 14 goals, tied with Brody Waters for the most in the CCHA, and Liam Malmquist, the leading point scorer in the CCHA, top 20 leading scorer in the NCAA, as well as has set the St. Thomas program record for the most points scored in a season with 32. I believe he is above that. Oh, he's still at 32. He is on a four-game pointless streak, but that kind of means he's due, and it kind of makes him a little bit more dangerous in this game as well. Cooper Gay, as we mentioned before, is the Bowling Green killer. We're going to look at for him this entire game. Earlier against Bowling Green this season, he had 3 goals and 1 assist in the series against Bowling Green. 2 goals one night, 1 goal and 1 assist the next night. And over his time against Bowling Green, 9 games played, 8 goals, 3 assists. He scored over a point per game and a couple of games where he scored multiple points. So he's been absolutely fantastic against Bowling Green in his time at St. Thomas. Definitely a player to highlight. And it looks like Aaron Trotter is going to get the nod from St. Thomas today, the goalie for St. Thomas. He started a lot of games in a row for St. Thomas as Jake Seibel has not been great, above 3 goals allowed on average and a .902 save percentage. Trotter sits at about 2.5 goals allowed per game and a .911 save percentage. So he's been pretty decent this season, a little bit better than what his career has been. The junior out of Victoria, British Columbia, in his 3rd year with St. Thomas, and that goalie work is going to be a real point of contention for Bowling Green today to see if they can solve Aaron Trotter.
Absolutely. Comparing him to Cole Moore, unfortunately, if you were listening to the series where Ben was up in Mankato? Not Mankato.
No, Marquette, Northern Michigan, yes.
There was an M in there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Christian Stover, BG usually starting goaltender, got injured with a puck to the knee. He was practicing this week. There was photos. I thought he would be able to get the nod. Fortunately, it'll be Cole Moore starting tonight. While Stover's first in the CCHA and first in the NCAA in save percentage, Cole Moore, he's a little bit more towards the bottom. Usually, though, a lot of that's because he comes into games when Stover would get injured. So he comes in cold, doesn't have a warm-up. So I'm looking for him to come in. He has a warm-up. He knows he's going in. He's prepared. I look for him to play well because based on the games I've watched, using the eye test, when he knows he's going into a game, he usually plays very solid. Not quite Stover level, but very solid. Unfortunately, a lot of his starts or plays have come when he has to sub in quickly due to Christian Stover's injuries.
And another thing that I've seen with Cole Moore's play, not necessarily against Cole Moore, the last outing that he had was against Ferris State, lost 4-3 for Bowling Green, but he hasn't had a lot of help in front of him, defensively especially, which you can't qualify with statistics, but that's more of an eye test thing. Didn't really have a lot of help there. And in that game against Ferris State, Bowling Green had a 5-minute major that they failed to score on even once, and if they did, that game is entirely different and at least goes to overtime, and Cole Moore takes an overtime loss at the very least. So he hasn't had a lot of help in front of him, and that's going to put a lot of stress on the defensemen for Bowling Green in this entire series. Sternberg and Norris together, McKinley and Parker together, Wozni and Passanen together. It looks like we're back to the lineup we saw 2 weeks ago. It changed a little bit last week, but I think the defensemen are going to be the key portion for Bowling Green this weekend, even though they're probably not going to replicate the high scoring that they had last weekend.
Absolutely. Talking about being strong in front of Cole Moore, currently when it comes to block shots throughout the entire league, throughout the entire CCHA, which is not just a defensive stat, but it's mostly a defensive stat. Currently, BG is in 8th out of 9. They only have 280. That compares to St. Thomas, who's in 4th with 320, a full 40 more block shots. If BG's going to play well and Cole Moore's going to play well, they need to have a guy who's going to go out there and block a bunch of shots.
They certainly do. They did a good job against Northern Michigan as well. And another thing that we're going to have to highlight, because we did it earlier in the season, is going to be the penalties. St. Thomas, 311 penalty minutes this season. Bowling Green, 278, 2 of the highest in the CCHA. That's going to be a big aspect of this game. And not only the penalties, assuming that you're going to take them, is going to be the power plays. It's going to be the penalty kills. Those are going to be the crucial part of this game for both squads. The power play, 23 goals scored for St. Thomas and around that same mark for Bowling Green. So it's going to be pretty even, and a pretty even matchup between Bowling Green and St. Thomas. That'll lead us into our Pick the Stick, our Falcon Media Sports Network Pick the Stick. Again, each Falcon Media Sports Network beat writer, or however you want to call it, one of the members is going to choose a player, and they accumulate points throughout the game. A goalie will start with 3. In this case, Cole Moore will start with 3 and lose them as the game goes on. And a skater will get a 1 point per goal and half a point per assist. Tyler Kavlitz, who is unfortunately sick today, who's supposed to be on the broadcast, but we're hoping that Tyler Kavlitz gets well. Our production director chose Cole Moore today. He says he thinks he steps up in big moments and he's going to get some help in front of him, which I think is going to be key for Bowling Green today. 3 goals allowed on average and a .904 save percentage. So Cole Moore's going to be under some pressure today. Lucas Kleinmeyer, who is actually traveling to Arkansas State right now for women's basketball, that's going to come up later this week. Actually, I think tomorrow they play Arkansas State in the Max Sunbelt Challenge. He chose Ryan O'Hara, unsurprisingly. 8 goals, 16 assists, and 24 total points for Ryan O'Hara, who broke his point streak in the last game against Northern Michigan last week. Nathan, you had an interesting pick, but I really like it, and it's a pretty interesting stat line there with the game-winning goals for your pick.
Absolutely. I went with Jackson Niedermeyer. I could have gone with Brody Waters, but I found that when I go with the high-scoring guys, that's the one night they have their off night. So I'd rather – I'm not going to jinx them anymore. I'm going to go with the players who I feel like are a little bit more of a depth piece. Jackson Niedermeyer, I believe both of his goals this year are game winners. And also, he's just been passing the eye test for me recently. Even when in the games where he doesn't get points, ever since the new year, he has just been amazing in my mind. He's constantly finding plays, finding good passes. He's not really a big shooter. Absolutely, last weekend in Marquette, he was able to get an overtime winner on a snipe in overtime. But for the most part, in my mind, he's a kind of more of a playmaker, looks for the pass. So I'm going to look for him to get a couple of assists tonight.
4 players like that in my mind that I think are very good role players and have earned their way into the lineup consistently now, even though they were scratched a decent bit earlier in the season. Niedermeyer being one of them. 2 goals, 2 game winners this season. Certainly great in the clutch time and is present on the power play and the penalty kill. Seth Fighton, Quinn Emerson, and Adam Zlinka are other ones, the 3 right wingers for Bowling Green on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th line. They've earned their way into the lineup, and they've been pretty consistent in there as well. Holden Ruck, our board operator today, thank you, Holden, for being here with us, has chose Dalton Norris, the left-wing defenseman for Bowling Green, to be his pick the stick. I think that's a pretty good pick, considering that St. Thomas is one of the most penalized teams. They're going to be on the power play, and that's an area where Norris has not found a lot of help this year, but he's been pretty good in the past, and he's a power play weapon waiting to happen. So Dalton Norris is the pick of Holden Ruck. And then my pick today, I'm going to go with Brett Foe. He was scratched in the first game against Northern Michigan, played in the second game against Northern Michigan, and received an assist on all 3 first goals for Bowling Green, including the game winner. And he received that assist hat trick in the second game against Northern Michigan. So I'm going to go with him again today and utilize some of his speed and tenacity, probably a coast-to-coast goal, if I had to guess, from Brett Foe. So look out for Ryan O'Hara, Cole Moore, Jackson Niedermeyer, Dalton Norris, and Brett Foe in this game. If you want real quick, Nathan, we can read out starting lineup, so why don't you start us with the starting lineup for St. Thomas.
All right, starting up front, on the left wing, we talked about how dangerous this guy's going to be. The senior, number 25, Liam Malmquist. At center, number 3, the junior and also captain of the St. Thomas Tommies team, Lucas Wallen. On the right wing, number 14, a sophomore, Jace Sofo from Sylvania, Ohio, just up the road. Back on D, number 7, Chase Foley, the graduate student. And then the pick of the New Jersey Devils as a prospect, the sophomore wearing number 26, Chase Cheslock. And then in goal, as we mentioned, number 31, Aaron Trotter.
On the side of your Bowling Green State University Falcons, the first line, unsurprisingly, Ryan O'Hara, Ben Duran, and Brody Waters. The offensive production line for Bowling Green. The defensive line, unsurprisingly, Dalton Norris and Gustav Stjernberg. And unfortunately, with the injury to Hot Stove, as they've said here, and Christian Stover, he will not even be dressed today, although he was at practice this week. No brace or anything like that. Yet to hear what his actual injury is. Hopefully it's very short term, as we certainly need his hot hand back. But Evola has dressed today, Salvatore Evola, with Cole Moore between the pipes for Bowling Green. So we will take a step back for a few moments, and when we bring you back, we will have face-off here in the Slater Family Ice Arena. Bowling Green against St. Thomas. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
If you're in need of affordable housing in Bowling Green, Falcon Media has got you covered with apartmentsforrentbowlinggreen.com. This website provides an interactive way to search for apartments, townhomes, and houses for rent in Bowling Green. Housing gets secured quickly in Bowling Green, so it's never too early to start your search for a great place to live near campus. Take the hassle out of apartment finding. Visit apartmentsforrentbowlinggreen.com. Brought to you by BG Falcon Media.
BGSU women's track participates in the Ashland Lightgiver Invitational on Friday, February 7th. Falcon Media Sport Network's Chaz McNeil will have a recap of the event on bgfalconmedia.com.
Follow and engage with BG Falcon Media on social media. Find the handle @BG Falcon Media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube for all sorts of content, including news information, BGSU athletics coverage, and feature stories from across campus. Enjoy specialty content such as full episodes of the local music showcase, Live and Loud. The coverage continues with BG Falcon Media on all major social platforms.
Two BGSU sprinters set program records at the Mayo Invitational held at the University of Notre Dame. Freshman Reese Riemann finished 8th in Saturday's mile, setting a new school record with a time of 4:46:40, breaking the previous record of 4:46:17 set back in 1999. In the 3,000 meter, junior Kylie Cubison ran a 9:25, shattering the prior record by 9 seconds. Cubison finished 14th in the event. Next up, BG Track and Field will be at the NIS Athletic Complex to participate in the Judd Logan Lightgiver event at Ashland University on Friday, February 7th. This has been 60 Seconds in Falcon Athletics.
Hey BG Falcon fans, you're here with Paige Kohler on the women's basketball team. These are my Falcon 4 favorite things about basketball. First off, I love competing. I love being able to win, and I love the winning feeling. Second, I love that it's a team sport. I love being out there with 4 other people on the court. Third, all the traveling that we get to do. I've been to so many new places because of basketball. And lastly, I love making new friends and just playing the sport I love with my best friends.
Hi everyone, I'm Claudia Schmidt. Resist the empire of cacophony. Listen to The Folk Show, Thursdays from 6 to 8 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, and also streaming at www.bgfalconmedia.com. Listen up, listen in, and enjoy.
BGSU women's track looks to continue their record-breaking season when they travel to Ann Arbor for the Michigan Invitational on Saturday, February 8th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Dalton Lowe will have the recap available after the event on bgfalconmedia.com.
Start your day with WBGU-FM and Early Bird Oldies. Tune into Northwest Ohio's community radio station weekdays from 4 to 6 a.m. for classic hit music from decades past. Enjoy all the golden oldies you remember and stick around for local community news and entertainment with The Morning Show. Early Bird Oldies, broadcast weekdays from 4 to 6 a.m. on Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
BGSU women's tennis travels to Hamilton, Ohio to battle the Eastern Illinois Panthers on Friday, February 7th at 10:45 a.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Foster Rostai will have the recap after the event on bgfalconmedia.com.
Bowling Green and St. Thomas in the Slater Family Ice Arena, the third and fourth of a 4-game set this 2024-2025 campaign for both squads. It was a shootout win for Bowling Green and then a straight-up 6-3 loss earlier in the season in St. Paul against St. Thomas, and now we're in the home barn of the Falcons, and they look to take 6 much-needed points in the CCHA. Ben Koryak here with Nathan Burkett from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Nathan, any final thoughts before we drop puck with Ben Duran and Lucas Wallen?
Just win.
There we go. Love to hear it from Nathan Burkett. Face-off won by St. Thomas back into their own zone. Waters on the harsh forecheck against Chase Foley, but it's flipped out into center. Bowling Green going against a high offensive team, and it's going to make those defensemen for BG quite important, if I do say so myself. Held in by Norris. Norris swings it back around, up into the air, and chipped up into center, and is held on by St. Thomas. Foley out to Sappho on the near side. Sappho the pass up. Wings back around to O'Hara. O'Hara back down to Norris, and Norris into Sternberg, the defensive line for Bowling Green, the highest scoring line as well. Here's a slap shot saved by Moore. Another one into Cole Moore. Quick chances there for St. Thomas and Lucas Wallen, but none of them fall, and Cole Moore gets his first 2 saves of the night.
2 very key saves there. Already, though, the physicality, I don't know if you can hear it on the broadcast, but
Already the boards are making all kinds of noises.
the big hits are here.
Bowling Green doesn't really have a true rival in the CCHA. Fair State's probably the closest regionally, but St. Thomas is becoming a pretty good one. That's a good glove save by Cole Moore there, although it was going over the net. So he'll freeze play and drop it again to his left.
I would say either St. Thomas or Michigan Tech, I feel like, has always been a big rival.
Yes. These two teams always seem to have Bowling Green's number, as they played them back-to-back earlier this season in pretty good 2-game set, and the two teams got the better of them. Gay the wing out to Mason Pullman. Pullman has to chase it back into his own zone. Sophomore defenseman out of East Grand Forks, Minnesota. 4 goals and 7 assists as the second line left defenseman. Up to Scardina as Wozni wears a big hit. It's out to center and Fighton on the forecheck. Out to Martin. Martin playing with Fighton and Scardina on the fourth line today for Bowling Green. And Cooper Gay takes it up and dumps it in the zone for Tommy Passon to chase. Left back, Wozni with the puck now. Defensive defenseman out there on the ice for BG, Passon and Wozni. Wozni played up with Sternberg last weekend. Here's out to Scardina. Scardina, wrist shot saved by Aaron Trotter, and he gets his first of the game as well. And probably the best goaltender in this game with the injury to Christian Stover. He's been fantastic this season for St. Thomas.
Absolutely. 5th in the CCHA in save percentage. I was looking and I was super confident because when you have the #1 goalie in the country for save percentage, I thought it was a done deal. But of course, fortunately with Stover's injury, Cole Moore and Aaron Trotter are a little closer than Stover and Trotter.
Redemption game for Cole Moore as well, who's going to get the start. Last game he played, 4-3 loss to Ferris State, which wasn't too on him, although there was a couple of saves that he probably should have made, and he left into the back of the net. The offense and defense didn't help him too much either. Dumped into Trotter. Trotter will have to cover this up as Ben Duran went on a quick forecheck. We'll get another freezing of play. 18:27 left to play in the first. Still no score. 3 shots on goal for St. Thomas, 1 for Bowling Green. Unsurprisingly, because St. Thomas takes a whole lot of shots, and actually so does Bowling Green. Pretty similar, within 100 of each other in total shots. Although Bowling Green's leading the CCHA in total shots taken. Last weekend certainly helps against Northern. Parker in here, wings it over to the center. Ben Duran with a shot, and a pad saved by Aaron Trotter as he deflects it to the right wing. Now the Falcons, O'Hara to Duran. Duran back out to the blue line. McKinley dumps it back in instead of crossing the blue line. We've seen a lot of that from the Falcons lately, and not moving laterally, but moving deep and into the offensive zone. Taking it away now is Malmquist. Malmquist up the right side. Duran bumps up into him with the puck. And a pass across is long for Ryan O'Hara. St. Thomas will have the puck. Back in their own zone, Grant Doctor out to the right wing. Now taken over in the center, and a flip up by Casey Leyland, the brother of Luke Leyland, the centerman and the right winger on the St. Thomas team. Pass into the center. Saffo's there. Starting today, but a 4th line right winger. Emanen is brought to his knees. Now Karodiak in there as the extra skating defenseman will take it out and force it up the ice to Emerson. Emerson's out to center. Ray Christie's in there as well. Now a couple of collisions behind Aaron Trotter and the offensive zone of Bowling Green, which is the right side of your radio dial. Out in front, deflected. Oh, knocked away. I think that was knocked by a St. Thomas stick into the blue paint, but it's cleared by Aaron Trotter away. Bowling Green still in the offensive zone. Scrum forward on the boards. Back out and a dump in. Bowling Green with the puck. Left wing shot in by Niedermeyer. Now he'll chase it on the left wing corner. Trotter was putting a hit on there with Emanen, who got in a little bit deep into the blue paint. Ray Christie in there with Quentin Pepper. Still a couple of Falcons as well. Zlinka ices it back around to fellow number 10, Mason Pullman. Pullman will pass up into center. Still some physicality going on. BG with the puck. Zlinka, pass back. Foe taking it up the right wing. Still has the puck, loses it a little bit long. Pullman will have to chase him down. Loses a step on Foe, and he gets it back around to Wozni. Woz the dump in. Pullman will have to chase to the right wing now. He's been everywhere on this shift, and he really needs to get off bad. 16:20 left to play in the first. Still no score. Pass to the center. Tape to tape. Wozni with the shot in. Is blocked by Lucas Wallen. Clears out to the blue line of Bowling Green. And Passanen will have the puck. Forces it up again. BG trying to keep the pressure on as they're not taking a whole lot of time in their own zone. Foe taking it left wing. Off the high glass. Seth Fighton will chase. Bad bounce off the boards there away from Fighton as he would have had full possession of this. It's back into Bowling Green zone. And you know, Nathan, it's really looking like puck possession is going to be Bowling Green trying to solve St. Thomas today.
Absolutely. Both teams are not letting their opponent gain any bit of ice without taking a hit.
Bowling Green softball in the bottom of the sixth inning, leading 5-2. A team that won only 6 games last year. Shot in front, and it is rejected by Trotter. Taking it down the right wing is Scardina. Back out to the blue line, over into the center. That's some pretty good stick handling from Scards. Out to Norris, now back to Scards. Scards down at the goal line. Into center. Martin with a shot in front, and nobody there as Seth Fighton was being forced away from the plays. Sternberg in there guarding the blue line. Scardina takes it into center. Backhand chance. What a couple of offensive plays there for Ethan Scardina, who's had a successful shift. And now Lucas Wallen up the left wing. Defended by Bowling Green. Avoids a hit there and sends Duran into the bench. Now back on, and Chase Foley will have to wait for his guys to get on sides. Now we'll take it in down the right wing. Shot across off the stick of a Bowling Green player. 5 minutes expired here in the first period. Still no score. And we're going to get a freezing of the play with Bowling Green in their own end. 14:56 left to play in the first.
No surprise, Ethan Scardina playing well, coming off a 4-point endeavor open Marquette over the weekend, and was able to get his first CCHA Weekly Award, getting last week's CCHA Forward of the Week Award.
First CCHA of the Week Award for Ethan Scardina. Congratulations to him after 5 years. That's impressive stuff from the grad student. Up the right wing to Passanen. Passanen's got some ice in front of him. His shot is way high. That one might have cleared into Lake Erie, but we're okay here. We're going to get another face-off in the zone next to Aaron Trotter, who Bowling Green is up to 7 shots on goal after St. Thomas took a 3-1 lead in that department. Passanen leading that drive there with the shot. And if he put one on the rebound, it would have been a pretty good chance for Bowling Green, as the defensemen of St. Thomas, not necessarily their strength. First line in for Bowling Green. Second line in for St. Thomas. That's Cage Sturzer, Jake Brasini, and Cooper Gay, who, again, we'll mention it, is the Falcon killer. 6'4", 210 out of Hanover, Minnesota. 14 goals, 9 assists this season. 8 goals and 3 assists in the last 9 games that he's played against Bowling Green. That is as torturous as you can be to the Falcons.
Falcons have to watch out for him, absolutely. At the same time, if they watch out for him, Liam Malmquist might take advantage of it.
Hard to match up with him given his 6'4" frame. You almost got to man mark him a lot of the time and put your biggest guy, which in this case is probably Emanen. In certain cases, Emanen, Waters, Grant, and Scardina probably have an eye on Cooper Gay depending on the matchup. Pass across from Sturzer. Sturzer into Brasini in center and taken away. Brody Waters with a 1-on-3 against St. Thomas. Wings it over to the center. Pass back to Duran, won't connect. Cooper Gay takes it up. Pass to the right wing. Gay streaking toward the inside. Shot saved by Cole Moore. I almost said Christian Stover there. He's been so used to saying his name. Niedermeyer on the forecheck. Hard forecheck, 1-on-2. And it's out to Grant Doctor on the near side. Pass not too clinical from Doctor as he turns it over to the Falcons. Up to center, Niedermeyer up to Emanen. Emanen gets a stick on it, but it's back into the O zone with St. Thomas possession. And Grant Doctor again back around. Good pass there between the legs to Casey Leyland. It's a little bit long for Bristini, who wings it to the near sign boards. McKinley up to Emanen. Emanen the first in the zone. Nobody guarding the blue line for Bowling Green as the defensemen were getting a change. Karodiak and Stjernberg on the ice now for BG. Emerson behind the goal. Trotter looking out his left side, taking it out from behind the goal line to Stjernberg at the right point. Stjernberg the dump in, off the glass, and down on the right wing boards. Foe gets in there. Emerson's going to be the first to this puck now on the left wing. Dumped back down. Luke Leyland in there. Now to Karodiak. Karodiak, the shot in, is blocked. He's got to get back and hold on to this puck, and he will. Bowling Green must have the vast majority of the puck possession. Unfortunately, they don't keep track of that on the live stats. 13 minutes left to play in the first period. 7 shots on goal to 4 for St. Thomas, but zeros on the scoreboard for both squads. Norris, good pass up to center. Foe taking it up. His shot goes off the stick of Carson Peters. Out to the blue line. Into center ice and taken away perfectly there by Tommy Passanen. Pass up to the center again. BG just really not letting up in this first period. Pushing it as soon as they get the puck back. Adams Linka in there. That one got a little bit close to the blue paint, but forced away with the stick of Trotter in the goal. Grant in there as well. Had the first goal of the game and the second game against Northern Michigan. A 5-2 win for Bowling Green, a 3-point endeavor. Out to the goal line and out and around. Liam Malmquist takes it away. Pass up and he gets pushed down to the ice. Bowling Green pushes another down to the ice. Pretty clean play so far in this game. Knock on wood between these two sides. Two sides that lead in penalties in the CCHA over 300 minutes. Big hit there in front of the student section. Chase Foley takes it up. Out to the right wing. Malmquist looking for a pass. Wozni there defending, and it's forced away from the number 1 scorer in the CCHA. A couple of players that you really got to look out for on this team. Cooper Gay's one in his time against the Falcons. Liam Malmquist another. Just everybody's got to watch for him in the CCHA, although he is on a 4-game pointless streak spanning through the last 2 series. O'Hara up Scardina, right wing, looking for a pass up high into the air off of the stick. That was a chance for Bowling Green, but Scardina was forced away from the slot. Now Bowling Green turns it over. It's O'Hara. O'Hara at the blue line. At the goal line, I should say. Tries to get a shot in, taken away by Pullman. Pullman off the half wall, out to Malmquist. Malmquist is kept in. Whistle blows. Don't know what happened to the puck, but I think it's going to be a face-off in the... I don't even know. Don't know what the call was there, but 11 minutes, 15 seconds left to play in the first, and still a 0-0 tie, and we are going to get a face-off to the right of St. Thomas goaltender Aaron Trotter.
With that shot on goal in that last possession, Ryan O'Hara is now equipped over 100 shots on goal throughout the season.
Impressive display from O'Hara, who did not have a goal until December 29th against Rochester Institute of Technology. Wayne Wilson got to see the first goal of the season for Ryan O'Hara, and he went on a 7-goal and 7-game trip there for a while, now up to 8 with his goal in the second game against Northern Michigan. Up and into center, good pass by O'Hara. Waters to Duran. Duran at the left wing. Waters streaking down the center, and he'll be the first to this puck as Duran works in there as well. Taken away perfectly by Cole Miller of St. Thomas. Up to the second line of St. Thomas. Jake Brasini, Cage Sturzer, and Cooper Gay. Sturzer in on the forecheck. Pass up to Waters. Waters up to Duran. Duran in central ice. Oh, big hit against Duran there. And taken away is Cooper Gay. Gay put that big hit on Duran, and that's a size disadvantage. Duran under 6 foot, and Cooper Gay standing at 6'4" and 200 pounds. O'Hara there to Duran. Duran will flip it up in the zone and go for a change. And now Niedermeyer, Emerson, and Emanen will be on the ice for Bowling Green. Emanen goes for the body, but McNeil sidesteps him. Across to Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer out. Another shot in is wide left of the goal. Weakly there. Emerson going on the forecheck. Chase Foley takes it back around in his zone. Now Luke Leyland in there. Pass out to Casey Leyland. And dumped in by McKinley. Emerson needs a change, so he'll head off. Zlinka on for Bowling Green with Niedermeyer and Emanen. Parker will be the first back into the zone. The defenseman, as we mentioned, will be so important in this series, guarding the blue paint and the slot in front. That's where St. Thomas does a lot of their damage, although they are a very good shooting team as well, and that'll be an offsides against St. Thomas, and time for the first break in the action. 0-0 the score, 9:35 left to play in the first period between Bowling Green and St. Thomas. Falcons and Tommies on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Wake up and get going with the music you know and love. Early Bird Oldies broadcasts weekdays from 4 to 6 a.m. and plays all the tunes you remember. Find WBGU on the bottom of the dial at 88.1 FM or streaming worldwide on bgfalconmedia.com. Early Bird Oldies will put a smile on your face and make you tap your feet. And it's only on WBGU, Northwest Ohio's community radio station. If you're already awake between 4 and 6 a.m., you may as well have a good time. Check out Early Bird Oldies, playing all the hit music of a different generation on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU. Don't forget to listen to the morning show immediately following Early Bird Oldies every weekday, right here on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM.
Face-off in neutral ice to the left of the center line, but on the far side of the ice, if you're looking at it from the WBGU 88.1 FM broadcast booth. 9:35 left to play in the first. 0-0 the score on the board between Bowling Green and St. Thomas as the first lines are back out there, or the first line of St. Thomas is back out on the ice. And what looks to be the second line of Bowling Green is out there on the ice as well. Jaden Grant, Adams Linka, and Brett Foe. Pretty sneaky offensive line there for Bowling Green. Grant, 4 goals, 4 assists. Doesn't feel like he does a whole lot, but he had an assist and a goal in the last series. Adams Linka has very good shifts and gets some points every once in a while. And Brett Foe sneakily has 11 points this season on his 4 goals and 3 assists in the second game against Northern Michigan.
None of them are overly flashy, but they'll get you.
Foe has a little bit of a problem passing, in my opinion, but in some aspects of the game, that's a pretty good thing to have, especially in the last game when his passes were so clean and effective as they were. Shot on, saved by Cole Moore. That one was almost from the blue line as Ethan Gower is forced down to the ice with Pullman looking in as well. Pass way across to Cole Miller. Miller dumps it back in. Falcons and Tommies on the near side boards, out to center and out to Zlinka. Zlinka will chase it all the way in with Cole Miller. He'll bump up Miller and not go for the puck. Miller's in there as well, but he took a pretty sizable chunk of a hit there. Off the half wall, where's another one on the receiving end, and I think he's going to head right off. It was a painful shift for Cole Miller, sophomore defenseman, a little bit undersized, but pretty comparable in play to our own Breck McKinley. Pass up from St. Thomas into central ice, and Ivan Korodiak will hold on to this one. The extra skating defenseman today, but he's working in instead of Ben Wozni early in this game. Scardina chases this one back down with Chase Cheslock. The first line of defense, both chases, Foley and Cheslock. Up the right wing, pass into center. Cooper Gay is forced away by Eric Parker and back up to Ryan O'Hara. O'Hara on the left wing in the Falcon D zone. Ray Christie bumping him up a lot, almost forcing him down to the ice. Back out to Scardina and out to the middle of the ice where Parker takes it away. Fighting into center at the logo of Bowling Green. Now out to the near side. Gay working in there as well, and the pass is wide for O'Hara as he waits for the proper lineup of forwards to get on the ice. Now he'll head off. Waters, Duran, and Niedermeyer on. Falcons without their clean lines for a minute here as they'll be jumbled up until we can get another break. 7:30 left to play in the first period. Still no score. Bowling Green on the right wing of their O zone. Duran gets bumped up. Niedermeyer working in there and gets it back out to the blue line. Pass across to Stjernberg. Stjernberg dumps it in. Where's a hit in front of the St. Thomas bench? Now St. Thomas with the puck now. Cooper Gay up to center. St. Thomas has numbers, but luckily the Falcons got their stick in there, and it was Gustav Stjernberg. Up to Bersini in center. He dumps it in to avoid the icing, but it is going to be an icing against St. Thomas, and it'll head back to the right of Aaron Trotter. "13 minutes expired in the first, still no score. Surprisingly, considering St. Thomas is one of the higher scoring teams in the CCHA, actually has scored the most goals in the CCHA, allows a pretty good amount as well, but it's all or nothing for this Tommy's team, who sits at 11, 12, and 5, and 8, 8, and 4 in the CCHA, although they're a much better team than that record shows. I think they underachieved quite a bit earlier in the season.
Absolutely. They have players on the top of almost every single individual stat line,
including penalty minutes.
Which we don't want, but
which they don't necessarily want, but it's what they get when they play the brand of hockey that they do, similar to Bowling Green. At the goal line and working it in is O'Hara. Shot, score! Bowling Green with the cleanup act there again. 13 expired, and Bowling Green on the board first. Quinn Emerson gonna get credit for the goal for Bowling Green as he leads the charge onto the way to the bench. And that's a big first goal for the Falcons.
Emerson's 4th goal on the year. Now he will go past the 10-point mark so far this season.
Looked like O'Hara with the original shot. We'll see if he gets the assist, and it is going to be Ryan O'Hara. So O'Hara will get his 17th assist of the season as Bowling Green takes an early lead, and that's going to be a big goal for the Falcons as they take it immediately back up into their O-zone. Deflection in front, Bowling Green scores again! Tommy Passanen with the shot in, Adams Linka in front, screening the goalie. 18 seconds later, and the Falcons strike twice.
You said it'd be a big goal, and I thought it'd be a big goal from him. I didn't expect him to strike again that quick.
Passanen with the original shot from the right blue line. Adams Linka in front, perfectly screened the goalie. Look at that, and what a shot by Tommy Passanen. Scored his first goal of the season in the last series against Northern Michigan, and now scores his second today against St. Thomas. BG with a 2-0 lead.
The fans right now, and especially in the student section, making sure that Trotter knows that he let in both of those goals, especially in such quick fashion.
Winning that play by the Passanen goal was Adams Linka. I said it right there, but that screen in front was absolutely perfect. Completely shielded the vision of Aaron Trotter, and he really had no chance on that play. Emerson with the first goal, 12:57. Tommy Passanen with the second goal, 13:08. That's Quinn Emerson's 4th goal of the season and Tommy Passanen's 2nd. Now another one in front, saved by Cole Moore, as right in front there was Jay Saffo, who tried to pound it home. 6 minutes left to play in the first. 2-0 Bowling Green in a span of 18 seconds.
Passanen, the graduate student, transferred here from Clarkson a couple of years ago. This is his 2nd year. Last year was only able to get the 1 goal. This year he has 2 this year. I believe he already has tied his assist total from last year, so now this is a career high as a Falcon for points in a year for Passanen.
Face-off won by BG, wings it out to Ryan O'Hara at the right wing. That was Waters in there that made a real good play on the puck. It's on the face-off. Nobody touched it until it settled down on the dot. Now Quentin Peppers pressed up by Duran. Back out to the right wing. Christie up to the blue line. Dumped in. Cole Miller, saved by Cole Moore. Now a backdoor chance, but Waters is there to shut the play down and force the body away. Jay Saffo working in again on the left wing. Now pass across. Bowling Green will get a new set of guys on the ice. Niedermeyer, Emerson, and Emanen out for BG. Pretty defensive lineup there. All of them pretty fantastic defenders, and this one's covered up by Cole Moore in front of the blue paint. 5:11 left to play in the first. 2-0 Bowling Green as they lead in shots on goal as well by 5, and 2 in a row delivered from the Falcons by Emerson and Passanen to give Bowling Green a 2-0 lead.
Imagine being a St. Thomas fan right now. You're listening to the game on the radio or watching on CCHA TV. You go to the bathroom or you go to the kitchen to get a beer or a soda, and you come back and all of a sudden your team's down 2.
Up the right wing, Ville Emanen chases back inside the zone with Cole Miller. Miller's pressed by Emanen. Back out to the blue line, but with St. Thomas. St. Thomas is Cooper Gay up the right wing. On his knees there, Dalton Norris with a great defensive play to get the puck away from Norris. We're going to get a whistle, and we might get a penalty against Norris for that. Don't know exactly what the call is. St. Thomas box will open. Too many men on the ice. There we go. So Norris with the clean play. That's what I thought. I was hoping it wasn't going to be on him, but we're going to get an early power play chance for, well, I guess late in the first, but early in the game, power play chance for BG. They could blow this game wide open if they fill this one.
And then you're St. Thomas, you're already down. You're on your heels a little. You're on your heels a little bit. You know, all of a sudden you're down 2-0, and now you take a sloppy penalty that you can't be taking in this situation.
Jay Saffo will head to the box to serve this one out for St. Thomas. This one will not be attributed to a player. It's a team. Martin in front, another shot. Aaron Trotter rejects it, taken away by O'Hara. O'Hara looks out to the blue line. Stjernberg there. Now out to O'Hara on the left wing. Working in, shot across the blue paint and back around. Norris will clear it back out to Stjernberg. To O'Hara. O'Hara on the left wing now. Taking it down to the goal line and then filling it back out on the backhand. He'll switch sides with Stjernberg, who's on the left wing now. Fans on the pass, dumps it all the way in. Martin with the shot off the stick and into the netting. Chase Foley was there with his stick in the lane. So we'll see right here, as they've done for probably the entirety of 2025. They'll get Ryan O'Hara at the point on the CCHA logo, Stjernberg on the left wing, Norris on the right, and just keep feeding slap shots until they can pound one home. I think that's been a winning recipe for the Falcons this season.
Absolutely, but keep in mind they have to watch out for Malmquist and the other St. Thomas penalty killers. They currently are third in the NCAA for shorthanded goals, first in the CCHA. They have 6 as a team, and 3 of which, half of them come from Malmquist.
The personnel will change. Bowling Green with the all-offensive lineup out there. Breck McKinley, the only defender. Eamon with the shot left of the goal. This one looks to be iced down by St. Thomas, but it's into the crowd. Now this is an interesting point you bring up because of the shorthanded opportunities that St. Thomas generates all the time. And you got only one defenseman on the ice who's got to play back at all times, and the formation that they play at that like 1-2-2 only has one guy back, so there could be an easy breakaway here for St. Thomas.
And McKinley's mostly an offensive defenseman.
So Willie really understanding that this is a key moment to blowing this game open. 2-0 Bowling Green leads with 4 minutes left to play in the first on the power play for the next minute. Up the left wing, all the way in and back out to the goal line. Duran back around to the right wing, and Ben Duran. Duran will knock it back in the right wing corner and iced back down by St. Thomas. They're not going for any offense, really. They're just looking to kill this off. Bowling Green's back. It's McKinley again. He's out there with Stjernberg. That was a dangerous leave for McKinley as he skated off, but it was to another white jersey again. Martin in there, back down to Stjernberg. Stjernberg behind the goal, out to Waters. Waters with a shot, and Aaron Trotter gloves it in his chest. 3:21 left to play in the first, 30 seconds left on the power play, and that was a pretty good chance by Bowling Green. They're first in a minute on this man advantage.
Very nice little toe drag release shot there from Brody Waters, but shot it right into the chest of Aaron Trotter. That would have been Brody Waters' 10th goal had it found its way to the back of the net. He continues to lead the CCHA and NCAA in power play goals.
O'Hara in the dot with Lucas Wallen. Wallen and Malmquist on the penalty kill. Centerman and the left winger on the first line for St. Thomas. Norris dumps it back in. O'Hara's there on the right wing, looking to distribute the puck into center. Martin is just a little bit long for him, and here's a breakaway. Taking it down is Liam Malmquist through center. Pass up, and it's a little bit long for Lucas Wallen, who will hold on to the puck, dump it back. BG pressing up with Lucas Wallen in there, who is just trying to tie up some bodies and the puck, and that'll kill off the penalty for St. Thomas. That's back around, and Martin wears a hit, but Bowling Green unsuccessful on the first power play of the game for either side. 2:40 left to play in the first. 2-0 Bowling Green leads with 7 shots on goal advantage as well. Scardina in the zone. First time we've seen him in a while. Pass across the blue paint in there. Passing with another shot and flying all the way down to the ice after this one clears into the net is Quentin Pepper. Upassinen's generated a little bit of offense in this game now. A couple of real nice shots, and that goal that filled all the way. His second of the season, second in 2 games. Impressive stuff by the defensive core for BG.
You don't only think of Passinen as a offensive contributor, mostly a defensive player, but takes a lot of shots, mostly looking for rebounds, but in the last couple of games, he's gotten a couple of goals.
Parker to the right wing, fighting in there as well. Pass down to the goal line, but it's Casey Leyland that's going to be there instead of the white jersey. Around to Emerson, out to the blue line. Across to Parker. Parker from the middle. Shot in, deflected in front, but away. Seth Fighton was there. Out to the blue line and Parker. Parker dumps it back in. Scardina up the left wing. At the dot. Now taking it back in, and he's pressed down to the far end of the ice. Trotter's tripped up and fallen down. Emerson's tripped up as well. That could have been a call there as the stick was low by Casey Leyland. And it'll be a dump in by Emerson as the Falcons get a quick change. Carson Peters up the right wing, off the half wall, sliding into the zone. Cooper Gay in there as well. St. Thomas will hold it on. Gay back into the zone now first. Zlinka, Wozni. Wozni puts a hit on Gay, but Gay shrugs it off as nothing. And out to Foe. Foe on the right wing. Chips it up in the air and loses track of the puck. It'll be taken away by Foley. Foley back in his own zone. Across to his right wing partner, and now back to center at Foley. Foley up to Brasini on the right wing, off the stick, so it will not be an icing against the Tommies. They'll go for a change. Up to Foe. Foe stops it with the stick. Pass up to center and turns it over to Mason Pullman. Pullman being interfered with by the Falcons. Now back up. Gay is the first one in the zone. Up the left wing, all the way in, looking for a pass. Backhand in front, and Moore is the one that was there with O'Hara forced away. Back up into the O zone of the Falcons. Less than a minute left to play in the first. 2-0 Bowling Green leads. And I'm sure they're happy to come out of this one with the lead that they have right now. Brasini in center. Duran working in there. Stjernberg as well. Flips it up the ice with the 9-iron. Down to Cole Miller. Miller out to Duran. Duran battling with Miller there. Niedermeyer comes in. Gets the puck free. And still looking for a white jersey to get it to. Now he's checked by Pullman. 23 seconds left to play in the first period. Wing across, Duran taking a wrist shot into center, and it's knocked away with the stick of Aaron Trotter. Now Malmquist in there behind the goal. Pullman will get it away to the blue line. 10 seconds left to play in the first period. Chipped up in front of the St. Thomas bench. They're not going to have enough time to get too great of a drive here, although they leave it up for Lucas Wallen. Wallen's pressed up behind. The horn sounds, and the Falcons with 2 goals within 18 seconds and a 2-goal lead heading into the Rick Crow first intermission report. We'll take a step back and bring you an interview in just a few moments from one of the bleacher creatures here in the Slater Family Ice Arena. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Start your day with WBGU FM and Early Bird Oldies. Tune in to Northwest Ohio's community radio station weekdays from 4 to 6 a.m. for classic hit music from decades past. Enjoy all the golden oldies you remember and stick around for local community news and entertainment with The Morning Show. Early Bird Oldies, broadcast weekdays from 4 to 6 a.m. on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM.
Falcon women's basketball faces Arkansas State in the MAC Sun Belt Challenge on Saturday, February 8th. Tune into Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer at 2:45 for pregame and 3 p.m. for tip-off on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hi everyone, it's Erica Porter with Bowling Green Women's Basketball, and here's my Falcon 4 favorite activities off the court. I do like to go shopping in my free time. If I'm back home in New Jersey, I do love to go to New York City and go thrifting in like the Soho area. I do like hanging out with, my hometown friends. I could do literally absolutely nothing with them as long as I'm in their presence. I love it. And what would my last one be? Oh, being around my sister because I don't see her a lot.
Wake up and get going with the music you know and love on Northwest Ohio's community radio station. Early Bird Oldies broadcasts weekdays from 4 to 6 a.m. and plays all the tunes you remember. Find WBGU on the bottom of the dial on 88.1 FM or streaming worldwide on bgfalconmedia.com. Early Bird Oldies will put a smile on your face and make you tap your feet. And it's only on WBGU Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
BGSU softball travels to Spartanburg, South Carolina for a battle with the USC Upstate Spartans in the first game of the USC Upstate Tournament on Friday, February 7th at 3 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak will have a recap of both Friday games on bgfalconmedia.com.
Hi, my name is Taya Ellis, and I play on the women's Bowling Green basketball team. And these are my Falcon 4 favorite meals to cook. One is this Jamaican meal called oxtail rice and peas. That's one of my favorites because my mom and dad used to cook it growing up, so it just continued on. Another one is tacos because it's just easy, something easy and quick to make. My third one, I would have to go with steak and mashed potatoes because who doesn't love steak and mashed potatoes? My last one, I'd say Alfredo because I love some pasta.
If you're already awake between 4 and 6 a.m., you may as well have a good time. Check out Early Bird Oldies, playing all the hit music of a different generation on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU. Don't forget to listen to the morning show immediately following Early Bird Oldies every weekday right here on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM.
Welcome back to the Slater Family Ice Arena, the Rick Crow First Intermission Report, longtime BGSU hockey fan, sponsor of our BGSU hockey travel this season. I am here right now, not with Nathan Burkett, who is my color commentator today, but I'm here with Jacob Segrist, one of the bleacher creatures here in the Slater Family Ice Arena. As many of us know, if you've been to a BGSU hockey game, in the student section, the front row, all those people wearing the cream-colored jerseys, which are my favorite, sit in the front row, and we got one of them here today answering some questions. Jacob, thanks for joining us, man.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. So first of all, for those that may know, and I'm pretty ignorant to this as well, what is a bleacher creature? What do you guys do? Can you explain your organization a little bit?
So the Bleacher Creatures, we're an application-based organization, and we lead chants and all kinds of different stuff here in the arena during the games, whether that's like handouts or all the papers you see spread out through all the spread throughout. That's basically what we do. We kind of carry the traditions of the Slater Ice Arena.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. How old are you? What class?
So I'm 22. I'm a fourth year. Okay. I'm an aviation major here.
How long have you been in
I've been a Bleacher Creature for 3 years.
3 years now?
Yeah.
Okay. Pretty cool. Long time. How long do you think the organization has existed? How long and how many people do you think are in it?
At the moment, we have 26 members. We just accepted our new class this year. The organization dates back to like the 1970s. It kind of died down, and it was revived in about 2012. Okay. And since then, it's been growing. So
pretty cool. Pretty cool. You guys get pretty rowdy over there, and I notice some traditions, the newspaper being one of them, the jerseys being another, some props being another. Can you explain the newspaper one to begin?
So the newspaper, I don't really know where that originates from. That's something that we've been doing since I've gotten here. Basically, it's just to show that we don't care about the other team, and that's why we hide our face behind the newspapers and say, "Who's he? Nobody." Yeah, kind of let them know. So
well, certainly a lot of nobodies on the St. Thomas team for sure. The jerseys are the main thing I see. These are my favorite jerseys that I'll try and describe them. It's the classic ones, the cream with the brown shoulders, the orange logo normally across the chest, but it says Bleacher Creatures on the chest there as well. I think it's a clean look. I like the look of them, and I noticed some names on the back. What do the names mean or symbolize, and the numbers as well?
So every member within the Creatures have a nickname, and most of those nicknames get put on the back of our jerseys. It's just kind of like an inside thing that we do. The numbers don't really represent anything. It could be someone's favorite number or just a number that they want to rep. The jerseys were actually a new thing this year. So we had a former member of last year wanted to do merch, and we had some discussion about it, and we ended up with jerseys. Went through an organization and tried to replicate a current jersey that we may see on the ice at times.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Some other things that I see all the time, props and sign ideas as well. Is there coordination when it comes to those kind of things? What do some of them mean? Do you have a favorite?
So sometimes it's just random. I know last game there were tinfoil hats. I don't know where those came from. But as far as the signs and stuff, we have a whole collection of signs that, depending on who's on the ice or just kind of what's going on, we'll pull a sign out and kind of use that to signal what's going on. Like we have the easy button that's always classic one after a goal. We've got the Swedish flag out there. We've got a couple flags that haven't seen ice time this year, but we'll like hold a flag up or something like that, depending on who's on the ice. So, props are kind of most of those are marketing things. So, like, we'll get, like, at the moment, we have bandanas and cowboy hats that's being passed out. You mentioned they're celebrating goals. A couple of goals early in this game to celebrate, and that leads me into talking about who you think is your favorite opponent to see here.
Favorite
Family
opponent.
Ice Arena. Mine is probably St. Thomas. I think this game gets pretty chippy. It's always a pretty good game. I enjoy it, but I want to hear what the Bleacher Creatures think. So, I always enjoy St. Thomas. I think mine is Fair State.
Okay.
I have a memory of a game about 2-3 years ago where we were chirping him so bad, the goalie, where at the end of the game they ended up winning. He turns around and does a bow towards our student section, and ever since then, like, it's my favorite team to chirp. So
I love
they're
that.
definitely my favorite opponent.
Well, you probably got to do it earlier in the season, correct? You guys got to go up to Fair State. I don't know if you were in attendance.
I was not in attendance for that trip, but that was a really good trip.
Yeah.
Most of our members went. They definitely enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it didn't go our way, but I heard a lot of good things from the people that went up. There were fans up there that were approaching us and saying how much they respect us for traveling up that far, and it was a good trip.
Yeah,
so.
for sure. You know, we'll talk about a game a little bit right here. You had a front row seat for those first two goals scored on the right side of the arena. What did you see there? What do you like to see from the Bowling Green team so far in this game?
So that first goal, it was a possession all the way in front of the net. He kept it really good possession there and got in the back of the net. I'm not sure what happened that second one. I was still celebrating the first. It happened so fast. I just kind of looked down. The puck was in the net, and it's like, whoa, okay, sure.
Yeah.
It's what we like to see.
Just throw your hands up and celebrate. I know that's what I did for sure. So, yeah, it was a real good goal, passing in with the shot in, and Adam Zlinko was in front screening the goalie, so he really couldn't see anything. It was a really good play, a really good goal, both within 18 seconds of each other. Quinn Emerson the first and Tommy Pastanen the second. What do you want to see from the Falcons the rest of this game, just besides 3 points in a win?
Definitely keeping it up. More pucks in net as always.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a shutout too. So
yeah, that'd be pretty cool for Cole. He really needs that so far.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Jacob, thank you for joining us, man. Jacob Seegers from the Bleacher Creatures. It's a pleasure being on, man, and go cheer hard for the rest of this game. Hopefully you get some more goals.
I'll definitely be losing my voice.
Appreciate it. So we'll take a step back for a few moments, and we'll bring Nathan Burkett back on and talk a little bit more properly about the way that we've seen this first period of hockey between Bowling Green and St. Thomas. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
You can be an essential part of the morning show's continued success on WBGU FM. The Bowling Green Chamber of Commerce offers businesses and organizations an opportunity to be an underwriter. Under the umbrella of the Chamber, you'll receive your mentions each month during either news and sports programming or feature segments. It's an affordable opportunity to be part of something unique in Wood County.
Just listen to the first segment of the Rick Crow First Intermission Report, longtime BGSU hockey fan and listener of WBGU 88.1 FM and the sponsor of our BGSU hockey travel this season. Nathan Burkett's back on the call with me right now. Nathan, what'd you see in that first period? And it was a pretty quick see, but, what'd you see there?
I saw two quick goals where if you blinked, you would have missed them.
Yes, sir.
One from Emerson, one from Pastanen. Not necessarily players that when you look at the Falcons you think of when it comes to goals. Not quite a Ryan O'Hara or Brody Waters, but they've been showing up recently, and they showed up big so far this game.
Certainly. Quinn Emerson, the first one, a shot in by Ryan O'Hara and a deflection in front. Emerson was there perfectly in front of the blue paint and just cleaned it up as per the Falcons have done this entire season. And then 18 seconds later, Tommy Pastanen with the goal, unassisted on his shot in, screened by Adam Zlinka. He probably should have gotten an assist on that for the work he did on that play, but unfortunately he gets credit for nothing. Tommy Pastanen with the goal, and the Falcons sit at 2-0 lead over the St. Thomas Tommies. Nathan, we saw a pretty energetic and pretty physical first period. Not a lot of offense aside from that 18 seconds as we mentioned, but that's a recurring theme between Bowling Green and St. Thomas. The scoring comes together when it comes, and it comes in a pretty physical manner, and I think we're going to see that the rest of this game.
And also the first goal started off a face-off win for BG, and that's one thing that they've been consistently better than the St. Thomas Tommies at so far this game. And overall this season, so far in this game, they're 13-7. They're winning the face-off matchup. But if you look at the stats, that's really one category where BG's way ahead of St. Thomas. BG is currently first in the CCHA for face-off winning percentage. St. Thomas all the way down in 8th. So I was thinking before this game, face-offs, that might be something that BG could capture on and use to gain some momentum, and they did it so far this game, scoring off one early in the first to get them that first goal. And then right after that, momentum that they got from that goal led to another goal 18 seconds later.
Two goals scored for Bowling Green, both of them in this first period, Quinn Emerson and Tommy Pastanen. The two areas of improvement that we've seen for the Falcons this year, pretty much this calendar year, penalties. They have not taken very many penalties. They haven't taken one in the first period. Knock on wood again, had one power play, but they didn't score on it. And then the shot chart, as we get to see every once in a while when they bring up the shots to us. The shot chart is immaculate for Bowling Green. Only a couple of shots from around the blue line. Every other shot that they've taken from the slot area and a couple from in front of the blue paint. So impressive stuff there by Bowling Green offensively. And as far as pick the stick goes, we will update as we go along. Ryan O'Hara has a half a point for his assist. That's a half a point for Lucas Kleinmeyer. Cole Moore still has all three of his points for Tyler Kavlitz. And Nathan, you, Holden, our board operator, and myself have yet to score points. But if it's anything like the first, a lot more scoring to go on for Bowling Green in the rest of this game. We'll do around the CCHA as well, as there is a couple of games going on in the CCHA. Bowling Green on top 2-0 right now. Lake Superior State leading 2-0 over Northern Michigan. Connor Milburn and Timo Bakos with the 2 goals. Connor Milburn also has an assist, and Nate Schweitzer has 2 assists in that game. Both goals for Lake Superior State coming on power plays against Northern Michigan. And in about 6 minutes, we're going to have the start of Minnesota State and Augustana. Augustana in Mankato, Minnesota, a 1 versus 2 CCHA matchup. That one's going to have some pretty good implications later on in the season. And then I forgot about Michigan Tech Bemidji, who has no score through 2 minutes into the second period. So we'll take a step back actually, we won't take a step back because the guys are on the ice, and we're going to get some time to take our breath a little bit. But Nathan, what do you want to see from Bowling Green in this second period?
As I said quickly at the beginning of the game, just win. And that's what they're doing right now. We're at the point of the year where how they look does not matter. The only thing that matters is the final score and capturing as many points from St. Thomas as they can to hold on to that 4th spot and maybe even jump frog one the 3 teams ahead of them. As we talked about Rick Crow, longtime hockey fan, what was the name of the fan you interviewed? I did not catch his name.
Jacob Siegrist from the Bleacher Creatures in that first interview. Thank you to both of them for, Rick's been on the broadcast before. Hopefully we'll bring him on again. But Jacob, certainly, thank you for talking about Bleacher Creatures. Pretty cool organization, if I do say so. If I wasn't a broadcaster, I'd probably join, to be completely honest.
Same. I was going to talk to him, but then became a broadcaster instead. But all the Bleacher Creatures and all the fans in general here at BG, they create a winning atmosphere for the team. I interviewed a couple players last week about how much it means to play in front of this crowd, and they all called it an honor, a privilege, other words that are about that same line of thought. To capture a home playoff advantage, for at least for the first round, will be huge for this team and their success in the playoffs.
All Bowling Green really needs is a split to stay in their playoff spot right now, but a sweep will do pretty good considering that Michigan Tech's got a pretty hard schedule coming up, and so does Minnesota State and Augustana. Bowling Green wins the opening faceoff. A dump in. Duran takes it away from the goal line. Pass up to Malmquist. Falcons striking on the left side of the Slater Family Ice Arena now from how we look at it. St. Thomas wearing their purple jerseys, purple socks, black helmets, gloves, and shorts. Bowling Green wearing the whites with the brown shorts with the white buckets and white gloves. Liam Malmquist with the shot in, rejected by Cole Moore, who stepped out of the crease to make that save. And this is up to Brett Foe. Foe a little bit of a lead but he surrenders it back down. Lucas Wallen on the near side, wings it over to the middle. Now Malmquist working up the right wing, shot in, saved in front of the blue paint, and a stick broken by Bowling Green as it's Stjernberg. Stjernberg spins out of play as he got his stick on that one. Now Malmquist with a shot in and a save by Cole Moore in front with Cooper Gay on the other side. That's a dangerous two-man and a 2-on-1 with Cole Moore. My gosh, I keep wanting to say Christian Stover, as we've said so much this season. Force of habit, but Malmquist with a real good shot there with a minute expired in the second.
Cooper Gay plays the type of game where most of his goals, most of his shots come from in between the two face-off dots right in the slot. So far I've noticed a lot of passing in. You got to get a defenseman in there to out-muscle him and prevent him from getting in that zone.
Brasini with the puck on the right wing now. Back around, Parker in there. Grant's bumped up. Back out to the blue line, and it'll clear away from St. Thomas and into the Falcons. Fighting with a bump, Pullman takes it around his own goal, and Aaron Trotter. Trotter with 11 saves in this game. Cole Moore with 8. And the 2 goals scored by Bowling Green, the only difference. Miller at the goal line forces the Falcon down to the ice. That was Grant that got knocked down. Scardina takes this one back into his own zone. Turned over, now in front. Cole Moore knocks this one high in the air and away. Out to chase Cheslock. Cheslock a shot in. Now from Brasini and is blocked by Wozni. Wozni up the right wing for Bowling Green. Pass up to Emanen. Emanen with a lead pass. It's going to be chased down by St. Thomas. Ethan Elias in the zone. Back out to Stjernberg. Stjernberg across. McKinley shot off of the half wall. A low angle shot there, and it is taken away by Emerson. Emanen on the left wing. Outside of the dot. Now behind the goal line. In there now is Cage Sturzer. Sturzer looks to get it outside of the zone. Brasini away to Elias. Elias up the ice as Luke Leyland blows a tire. And this one will knock into the bench next to Willie. And it'll be a face-off in the neutral zone for Bowling Green. 17:41 left to play in the second. And still Bowling Green holds on to a 2-0 lead.
Sir Coach Willie is happy with his team's performance so far.
Pretty clear similarities from this period in the first. BG still stressing the puck possession, as they've been really good at the last couple of games. It's been one of the nicer things to see from the Falcon team. Capitalizing on opportunities as well. They've taken a real step forward on. Now this one is a great chance by O'Hara into Waters in front of the blue paint. And a slapper there is taken away by Trotter. Leyland's pressed up against the boards. He's forced down a little bit low by Bowling Green, but both players got a little bit low. It was Stjernberg in there that forced Leyland down. The centering pass and taken away by the Falcon defenseman. Cheslock feed into Leyland. Leyland tried to direct that one home with his stick up, but nothing there as Cole Moore was in the crease, perfectly beat on that play. Stjernberg back around, turns it over, across into the slot, and Quentin Pepper wasn't there in time. Now taken away by Bowling Green. Great defensive recovery by the Falcons in their own end, going on a change as well, which they have to range to the other side of the ice to do. Taking a hit, Pullman gets it down. The Falcons with the puck behind their own end, and this will be the first time they really sit behind the goaltender and take a second. And right away forces it up the ice and way out of play. 2-0 Bowling Green, 17 left to play in the second. Nice to see the defense be the priority, defensive puck possession.
BG's defense constantly gets a lot of shots on goal, and they've been able to work the puck up so far this game very well.
6 more shots on goal for BG over St. Thomas, only 8 for the Tommies. I forgot to mention it before. BGSU softball did complete a win over Monmouth, lost to South Carolina upstate earlier in Spartanburg in that tournament. They won 5-4 in the second and are now 1-1 on the season in the Michelle Gardner era. Wrap around and taken away. Quentin Pepper in there with another Falcon out to the blue line. Norris across the blue line to Passanen. Passanen on the right wing. Has got some offensive prowess now. His shot in is blocked by Miller. Miller holding onto the body of the Falcon and is back out to Passanen. Dumps down. Foe with a shot. Score! Brett Foe from outside of the right face-off circle.
An absolute laser from Brett Foe.
4 minutes and 1 second into the third, and the Falcons have a 3-0 lead over the Tommies. What a release by Brett Foe on that one.
Aaron Trotter had no chance on that one.
We'll see who the assist is by. It is going to be Tommy Passanen and Ethan Scardina. So Scardina's point streak continues. Tommy Passanen with 2 points already in this game. He's played great on both ends of the ice as of the last couple of games, and Ethan Scardina has been as hot as they come for skaters in the CCHA. Around behind, St. Thomas behind Cole Moore in the goal as he's shut off. The entire thing looks out of his right. Still pinned behind and now cleared back out to Malmquist. Malmquist, this shot in, is deflected away by Moore. It was a shot by Carson Peters, who has taken the place of Ethan Elias and Grant Doctor a lot in this game. Taking it into the zone is Martin. Martin takes it around to the goal line. Shot in, Trotter. A rebound chance for Scardina, and he's knocked away from the play. A Tommy and a Falcon out of the play now as they'll have to hold on and dump it in as they were offsides. St. Thomas will collect in their own zone. Grant Doctor behind Trotter in the goal. 3-0 Bowling Green leads. 5 minutes expired in this second period. Time of the goal, 4:01 through this first period. And assisted by Scardina and Tommy Passanen, Brett Foe's 5th goal of the season. Emanen with the puck behind the goal line. Works it out. Malmquist is there. He's played a lot of shifts early in this game, and he's going to be on tired legs when it comes around to the third period. Round Emanen. Emanen there as well at the right goal line. Crossing pass into center. McKinley with a shot, and it's deflected off of the stick of Cage Sturzer up in front in the slot. Turns it over to Malmquist and out wide right to Ethan Gower. Gower the shot in. Dumped it down, and the Falcons will have to chase. Pass up to the right wing. Cooper Gay looking for the check. Now to Grant. Grant slightly interfered with there. He put it hit on Cheslock. Taking it through. Waters pass into the slot. Now taken away by St. Thomas. They have a little bit of an odd man rush here. Cooper Gay down the right wing. Looking for a pass. He's forced down to the ice. It's going to be a penalty against Bowling Green once they get a stick on this. And they do, and it is. They're going to head off to the box for 2 with 14 left to play in the second period. It's going to be a pretty good opportunity from St. Thomas.
While BG does not have the offensive prowess on the penalty kill like St. Thomas, they do have a better penalty kill. They're averaging .808 so far this year on the penalty kill. This penalty will go against Breck McKinley. He'll go to the box for 2.
McKinley's 6th penalty of the season, 12 minutes after he serves it out. Power play for St. Thomas, a pretty good one. Malmquist takes it up the right wing, shot in, chipped up in the air behind the goal. Back around to the blue line. Foley is there. Mainstay on the power play for this St. Thomas team. A lot of his points come on the power play. Down back to the goal line on the left wing. Wallen looking for a pass out to Foley. Foley with a shot off of the half wall to Malmquist. Malmquist on the right wing. Bowling Green takes it away. Scardina up past the blue line, and he'll go on a light forecheck as St. Thomas will collect. St. Thomas power play is at a .264 clip, far higher than Bowling Green's, but their penalty kill just a little bit behind. So better on special teams. Crossover and through the center, and that was a chance for Cooper Gay, who struck there. Out, pushed down to the ice is Emerson, and Emerson will skate off, thinking he should have had a tripping. Out to Foley again. Foley still on the ice now with a minute expired in this power play, and it'll be iced back down by Bowling Green with 13 left to play in the second. Foley behind his goaltender, fighting on the forecheck. Niedermeyer at the blue line, and then the 2 Falcons at the red line. Quite a forward defensive lineup for Bowling Green. Niedermeyer got a stick on it. Casey Leyland rings it back around to Brasini. Brasini can't hold it inside the blue line, and they'll have to get back on sides with 40 left to play in the power play. Malmquist out, turns it over again to the Falcons, and they ice it back down. Not so much of a great penalty kill so far for Bowling Green as it is a pretty foolish power play by St. Thomas. A rare sight for them. Leyland out to his brother. Now back to Leyland on the near side. Out to Sturzer. Sturzer at the blue line. Into Cheslock. Cheslock keeps it inside the blue line just barely. Brasini dumps it back in. Stjernberg gloves, drops, and ices it back down with under 10 left to play in the power play. And by the time they kill this off, St. Thomas will get back in the zone. They do. Now back, another shot in. Blocked by Ben Duran, it looked like. McKinley out of the box, and he'll hustle over into the play at the goal line. And both teams 1 for 1 on the penalty kill in this game. Stjernberg with the puck. Out wide to the right wing of Bowling Green. O'Hara wears a hit. Brasini with the dump in, turns it over to Bowling Green. Now up the right wing, Ryan O'Hara. Off the half wall and up. Around to Duran. Waters is the first one there, taking it behind the goal. Looking for a pass, forehand into Duran, too far behind his skates. Wozni down to the goal line of Waters. Waters back to Wozni. Wozni outside the wheel, into the slot, taken away by St. Thomas. Now in the slot again. Bowling Green still with it. Duran with a wrist shot, and he gets his skate tied up. And it'll be cleared out to center by Chase Saffo as he will go for a change. And it's the first shift outside of that penalty kill, or the power play, I should say, for St. Thomas. Up to center, Quentin Pepper up the right wing. Pretty large forward there, 6'3" junior on the center of the fourth line, I should say. Passes a little bit long. Malmquist takes it back out of the O zone. 11 minutes left to play in the second period. 3-0 Bowling Green on top of St. Thomas. Low angle shot blocked by Parker, working in there with fellow 24 Grant Doctor. Taken up almost outside the zone. Wallen in there with Pepper. Zlinka off the glass into center ice. Right wing, Brett Foe's got a goal in this game. That third one for Bowling Green. A shot in, gloved and held onto by Aaron Trotter as he'll give his guys a rest. 10:30 left to play in the second. 3-0 Bowling Green. The most recent goal, Brett Foe's at the 4-minute mark, assisted by Tommy Pasanen and Ethan Scardina. Pasanen's second assist of the season, Scardina's 7th. Emerson, Pasanen, and Foe, the goals in this game. O'Hara, Pasanen, and Scardino with assists. Pasanen, a 2-point endeavor. He is as hot as they come defensive-wise. A forward not skating in today's game from St. Thomas. Matthew Gleason had a very good series against Bowling Green earlier in the season. Does not play today. Krodiak with the pass across. That was a great pass intended for Jackson Niedermeyer, who was streaking toward the net. Got Trotter beat on the backside, but the pass couldn't be completed as there was too many sticks by St. Thomas in that lane. Flip up into the crowd, and it's going to be off of St. Thomas, and it's going to be a face-off in the O zone of Bowling Green. Cole Moore sits at only 9 saves. This is 5 games in a row now that BG's defense has been so good. They don't even allow too many shots on goal. And 9 through a period and a half of play is just unreal defense from the Falcons. They've put 19 total shots on Aaron Trotter. 3 of them have got through. Sternberg with the puck. Deep pass up to O'Hara. O'Hara the 2-on-2. Pass off to the right wing at Waters, and he can't hold on to the puck. Turning it back around at the goal line. Out to the blue line now. Into Wozni. Wozni on the left wing point. Working his way in. His shot is blocked by O'Hara, who wore most of that one. Another Sternberg shot in and knocked away by Jake Brasini. Now at the goal line. Bowling Green back around. The wraparound pass into the slot. Now a slap shot fake by Sternberg. Down into the slot again and taken away by St. Thomas. Cooper Gay is in there. Duran as well. Off the glass. Settled down by Max Martin. Martin in center. Out to the right wing at Sternberg, and Sternberg through center, out to Martin. Martin with the 3-on-3, shot in, off the stick, and into the netting. And we'll take our first break in the action of this period. 9:19 left to play in the second period. 3-0 Bowling Green on top. The only goal in this second, Brett Foe's, his 5th of the season, assisted by Tommy Pasanen and Ethan Scardina. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
You could listen to WBGU 88.1 FM, or you could be part of the action. Volunteer with WBGU FM in a variety of roles, including on-air, promotions, social media, music selection, and more. For more information, visit the WBGU Facebook page. Volunteer with Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU 88.1 FM, the return to radio freedom. WBGU FM is Northwest Ohio's community radio station. Tune in daily for local programming that includes the morning show, oldies, indie rock, children's music, folk, jazz, world music, and so much more. WBGU is the return to radio freedom. Give us a listen on 88.1 FM or online at bgfalconmedia.com. 88.1 FM WBGU, Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
Back here in the Slater Family Ice Arena, media timeout after the 10-minute mark. 9:19 left to play in the second period. BG sporting a 3-0 lead over St. Thomas, a pretty sizable one in this second period. And once we get into the third, that's going to be a tall order for St. Thomas, even though BG struggled in the empty net. That's 3 you got to convert if you're the Tommies.
Absolutely. It's hard to do, especially in one period. They always say you can't win a hockey game in one period or in 2 periods, but you can lose one. And if St. Thomas keeps letting in goals like they are right now, they might have already lost this game.
Quality of chances for Bowling Green, very high. Almost every single one of their shots, which they are approaching 20, and they have a 10-shot lead over St. Thomas. Almost every single one is high quality, and they aren't allowing a whole lot to St. Thomas. And not only are they not allowing many shots, they're not very high quality. Bowling Green's coming from around the slot area, the vast majority of them, and the vast majority of St. Thomas is from pretty wide out and sporadic. Not a lot of offense coming from St. Thomas. Quentin Pepper in the zone, chasing this one down to Passanen, who knocks it outside. Passanen's got the second goal of the season today, had his first against Northern Michigan. Off the glass, and it's stopped from clearing out to center by the glove of a St. Thomas player. The referee can see the puck, although we cannot. A bundle of bodies on the right wing in the Falcons' D zone. Passanen looking in, O'Hara looking in with there. The other 3 Falcons, Waters, Wozni, and Duran in there as well. Now a big hit there by Liam Malmquist, who chunked in on that pile. The Falcons fans can't see anything, and neither can we, to be completely honest. Still pinned down on the right wing boards. This is ridiculous. Finally got out by St. Thomas. Clears over into center, gloved by Cole Moore, actually deflected off the glove and knocked away. McKinley knocks it. That's going to be a hand pass against McKinley, so a face-off. It was a stupid play by McKinley. I don't know what he was doing jumping for that puck, but it was in the air, and he tried to swat it toward another player, which is quite illegal.
Very blatant there. Gave the puck a high five.
8 minutes left to play in the second period. 3-0 BG. And we're going to get a timeout by Bowling Green. Don't know exactly what the reasoning of this timeout is. Possibly just to get his guys a rest or get his guys a change. 8 minutes and a 30-second timeout for the Falcons. So, Nathan, what have you seen as common denominators in this, through this first period and the first half of the second period? What do you see that's making Bowling Green so successful?
Puck possession and good opportunities coming off that puck possession. Also, on top of the puck possession, arguably more important, they're finding the St. Thomas key players. We're talking Malmquist, Wallen, and Gay, and they're finding them, and they're just not letting them get any good opportunities. Only 9 shots on goal even now for St. Thomas, and most of them aren't good opportunities. That's because they're finding Gay. We talked about how he likes to shoot right in the slot. They're not letting him get to that area of the net. Players like Scardina, Passanen, they're finding him before he can get an opportunity, and they're just out-muscling him for those pucks.
2 shots on goal each for the 3 guys you mentioned, Malmquist, Cooper Gay, and Lucas Wallen. Clears it out to center. Max Martin takes it up. Down the left wing, poked away by Chase Foley. Martin stole the first one in this zone as he wears a hit. Out to Scardina, through the slot. The Falcons can't step up and make a play. Malmquist out to the right wing, and Lucas Wallen. Wallen takes it up the right wing, loses it on the boards. Now into the center of the ice, and Martin will clear it up the right wing to Scardina. Scardina back, can't hold on. Cheslock will dump it back down into the zone. Back across to Norris. Norris hasn't played a lot of shifts in this game. Sternberg certainly has. This lead pass up is back in the center. Turned over, Wallen to Malmquist. Malmquist, that could have been offsides right there, but the puck must have crossed into the zone first, said the referee. Scardino with the puck. Forehand pass off of the half wall, high in the air and down the ice into the O zone with no Falcons to chase, really. Knocked up by Gower. Gower across, right wing, Adam Zlinka. Zlinka bumped up. Now Foley across, and he'll get it to his line mate, Chase Cheslock. Cheslock to Luke Leyland up the right wing. Number 19, his brother Casey Leyland wears number 9. Left wing now of the Falcons. Foe with the puck. Up to O'Neal. Ryan O'Neal, not Tyler O'Neal. Through centers. Linka to Foe. Foe. Back to Zlinka. Zlinka in front, and he's forced away down to the goal line. Back around to Grant. Grant centering pass, and it is in the skate of Ryan O'Neal, and he takes it away. Down the left wing, Luke Leyland loses the blade of his skate. Casey Leyland in there now. That's going to be a late hit, or a low hit on Jaden Grant. That was a proper late hit.
Hit him right in the numbers and up high, too.
Casey Leyland, who is still on the ice, he's suffering after that one. And that might be reviewed for a major. Oh, it's going to be Wozni. I think they got the wrong guy there. But O'Hara's going to skate out and ask for an explanation with Lucas Wallen.
Not much to explain on that one.
Waz is going to head off for 2. That's not the guy you want in the box. He's a pretty good defensive guy.
Leads the Falcons in block shots so far this year.
Grant skating off. And we are going to get a review for a major here. So we'll take a step back while they review this one quickly. 6:23 left to play in the second period. Possibly a 2-minute, possibly a 5-minute. We'll tell you when we come back. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Soon after humans began to walk upright, they invented folk music, and folk music was the only music, and it was good. Then came civilization, and rival musical genres arose: Gregorian chant, classical music, jazz, rock and roll. And there was cacophony, but folk music survived, and when the economy and technology collapse and civilization devolves into barbarism, these upstart genres will fall away, and folk music will rise again to its natural dominance. You can prepare yourself now for that inevitable future by tuning in to the Folk Music Show Thursdays from 6 to 8 p.m. on WBGU 88.1.
I'm Gus Peacock from the Bowling Green men's soccer team, and this is my Falcon 4 favorite Halloween costumes. My first one is going to be Bigfoot because I think it's really funny and he looks super big. My next one is going to be one of the founding fathers, Ben Frank. I'm going to do that this year. I think it's really funny. Another one, my favorite costumes would be Art the Clown because he's super scary and I've watched all the Terrifier movies. And the last one would be Buddy the Elf because I love that costume and I love that movie so much.
BGSU softball concludes the USC Upstate Tournament with a battle against the Akron Zips in an early season MAC matchup on Sunday, February 9th with first pitch at noon. Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak will have a recap of the event on bgfalconmedia.com.
So a 5-minute major here against Ben Wozni for boarding, and this is going to be a turn for the Falcons, who up until this point played pretty much immaculate hockey. 3-goal lead for them. Quinn Emerson, Tommy Passanen, and Brett Foe, the 3 goals. O'Hara is going to be pleading his team's case to the referee, but he's going to get an explanation here. And Bowling Green will go off onto the penalty kill with one of their better penalty-killing defensemen out. So it's going to be all on Norris, Stjernberg, Wozni, Norris, Stjernberg, Parker, and Passanen now, if I had to guess. And it's Stjernberg and Norris out there right now for the Falcons with the power play unit on for St. Thomas. That'll probably change a couple times. Malmquist at the puck, back out to the blue line of Foley. Foley down deep. Malmquist with a shot in, save, and is in front and covered up by Cole Moore as he took a stick to the head there, and a big scrum going on in front of the Falcon student section. Couple of players in there, couple of players not. Bowling Green maybe trying to egg St. Thomas into taking one.
One bit of good news for the Falcons is Ben Wozni still in the penalty box and not get kicked out of the game, just a 5-minute major.
They do have Ivan Korodiak, who is the extra skating defenseman, so They can use him on this penalty kill if they wanted to. Bowling Green will change first. And St. Thomas will put out their best guys for sure. Ryan O'Neill, Liam Malmquist, Lucas Wallen, Cooper Gay, and Chase Foley, the defender. 3 goals, 12 assists this season for Foley, who is a great passer of the puck. Wallen's in there for the draw. Ryan O'Neill playing the point as well. 4 goals, 10 assists. Cooper Gay, 14 goals, 9 assists. Liam Malmquist, 12 goals, 20 assists, and the leading point scorer in the CCHA. And Lucas Wallen, 10 goals, 16 assists. That's a lot of points scored from those 5 players on the ice right now. Wing across the blue line. Liam Malmquist down to the goal line. Scardina man-marking him, as they probably should. Foley through center at the CCHA logo. Shot in, deflected, cleared away by Sternberg, who got a stick in the blue paint. And now Ethan Scardina will take it up down the right wing with 2 guys defending him. Turns it back over to Ryan O'Neill. Pass up. It's a 2-on-3 for St. Thomas. And the Falcon defenders will get back. Jaden Grant off the bench up to center. He gives a hard forecheck there on Malmquist. Malmquist to Wallen on the right wing. Out to O'Neill on the left wing now. 4 minutes left to play in the 5-minute major. Again, a goal will not bring the guilty party out of the box, and that's Ben Wozni, unfortunately. 5:15 left to play in the second period. 3-0 Bowling Green leads. St. Thomas on the man advantage. Chase Cheslock out there now. 12 points on a goal and 11 assists. Out to Luke Leyland. Leyland up. Parker's going to be back with Casey Leyland. Casey Leyland gets it around. BG outside of the zone. And St. Thomas will have to chase it down with Chase Cheslock. Cheslock, one of only 2 drafted players in this game. He's drafted by the New Jersey Devils, one of my least favorite NHL teams. And Adam Zlinka drafted by the Utah Hockey Club, or the Arizona Coyotes when he was drafted, but the Utah Hockey Club now. Cheslock back down above the left face-off wheel. To McKinley to Fighton. Fighton's there. He's got a lot of space in front of him. He'll skate this one off for a second and now dump it down off the glass. And, oh, it's going to be blown off. I think it went into the bench of the Falcons. Willie not happy, but he'll let it go. 3 minutes left to play in the second, in the man advantage for St. Thomas. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in the period. Face off to the left of Cole Moore. Almost unforgivable for a team to not score on a 5-minute major. I'm sure you know this, Nathan.
Yep, BG's committed that sin a couple of times this year.
Ferris State comes to mind. Unable to score, lost in a 1-score game. Pass across, good pass there, but a stick got in the lane. It was Seth Fighton's. He deflected that. Now he gives a forecheck up top. Liam Malmquist with a shot in, and a screen in front, and a save by Cole Moore, who has been pretty darn good as well in this game, saving 20 shots now. I'm sorry, 12 shots now. 20 for Bowling Green. .40 seconds away from just killing off a 2-minute minor. Wallen still out there, has not left this power play yet. Loses another draw, and it's back around for Bowling Green as they ice this puck back down. 20 face-off wins, only 14 losses for BG. We've had a lot of draws in this game. Emerson with the puck, and it's iced back down. The power play looks decrepit for St. Thomas so far, so they got to really get something going if they want to make this game closer. Niedermeyer puts a press on. Bowling Green ices it all the way back down again. Emanen will go on a forecheck now as Chase Foley's the only Tommy. They'll chase it. Now Malmquist with the puck now on the right wing. Pass up the center. Cooper Gay out to the left wing. O'Neill back on. 2 minutes left to play. So basically killing off a 2-minute minor now for Bowling Green. Malmquist turns it back around. Pass over into the slot, through the slot, down to the goal line. Fighton's there. Ice back out by Bowling Green outside the blue line, but in neutral ice. Cheslock will hold on. Turned over to Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer with the puck, and he'll slowly dump it back in the zone with 3 minutes left to play in the second, a minute and a half left to play in the man advantage. Cheslock up the right wing. Plays it down past the goal line. Big hit there put on Cheslock by Gustav Stjernberg. Really completed the check on that. Brasini with the puck in his own zone. Casey Leyland in there. Hard forecheck by Scardina. Turns the puck over. Down to the goal line. Ethan Scardina, the captain, and he turns it back over to St. Thomas, but wasted a good chunk of time there holding on to the puck. High slash there by Grant to turn the puck over. Now Luke Leyland in the neutral zone. Liam Malmquist will have to hold on to it. Still not breaking that blue line plane, and now Brasini finally takes it in on sides. They'll be kicked back out by Bowling Green. 50 seconds left to play in the power play. Sturzer takes it down the right wing. He's pressed by McKinley. McKinley finishes his check, gets the puck free. Jaden Grant with the puck, and will backhand it outside of the zone. Now a pass out to McKinley. McKinley with the puck and diagonals it across the ice. 2 minutes left to play in the second period. 30 seconds left to play in the power play. Emanen with a low angle shot there. Fighton takes it up, interfering with Ryan O'Neill. Pass up the ice to Foley. Foley down in the zone behind the goal line. Now up to O'Neill. O'Neill lead pass up for Lucas Wallen. That'll break St. Thomas in the zone for the first time in a couple of minutes. Pullman in there now with under 10 left to play in the power play. Out to the blue line. Chase Foley with the shot off the glass behind Cole Moore. One, and out of the box comes Ben Wozni as Bowling Green killed off this one. Streaking into the zone is Ben Duran. Duran down the right wing behind the goal line. Pressed away by Chase Foley. Now in front, and it'll be a diving save by Aaron Trotter, as there's a couple of shoves being thrown out there in front after Bowling Green killed off a 5-minute major with $1:10 left to play in the second period, and Bowling Green still leading 3-0. What a penalty kill from the Falcons.
Absolutely. St. Thomas, at least before this game, ranked first in the CCHA, 8th in the NCAA, and you give them a 5-minute major and you're able to kill it off. That is an amazing job by the penalty killers of BG, who are 3rd in the CCHA and 28th in the NCAA.
8:08 penalty kill. That's going to rise after today, and an even bigger one on the 5-minute major. Quentin Pepper in there now, who did not play in the power play. Those first two lines for St. Thomas are going to be happy that they got an intermission coming up in a minute, because they skated a lot. Those defensemen probably tired as well. Lead pass up for the Falcons, a little bit long, and back in the central ice, Karodiak out there for the first time in 5 minutes. Pass across to Duran. Duran wing pass to O'Hara. O'Hara centers it back around. Now to Waters. Waters wears a bump from Jay Saffo. It's down at the goal line. Duran with the puck. Turns it away from the blue line. Now at the high slot, and it'll be deflected into the netting off of a stick of Quentin Pepper. We'll get a new set of skaters on the ice for both sides with 35 seconds left to play in the second.
Looks like BG's second line of Grant, Foe, and Slunka will be the ones to play the rest of this second period with only 35.5 left.
Foe, the only player or forward on the ice for Bowling Green that scored points earlier in the season. 1 goal, 2 assists. Adds a goal onto it today in the second period with 4 minutes expired. Bowling Green leads 3-0 with Emerson, Passanen, and Foe being the goal scorers. Grant around, putting a hit on Malmquist. Out to Cheslock. Cheslock down the right wing. Lead pass up is long. Sternberg is holding on. Puts a big hit there. Turns the puck over to the Falcons. Sternberg with a couple of big hits and the final moments of the second period. 15 seconds left to play in the second. St. Thomas with the puck. Chase Foley in his own zone. Up across his own blue line. Now to Cheslock through center. And now up into the O-zone. Gower out to the right wing. Malmquist shot in, saved by Moore. It's still in front on the doorstep, covered up with time expiring. A big hit on the end of that play as Grant is getting into it with Ethan Gower. That was a punch there.
Sternberg's going after a St. Thomas player.
And Sternberg is getting into it as well with 2 St. Thomas players, Chase Foley and Chase Cheslock.
He stopped for a second. Now he's going back for more.
Time has expired through the period, so it's 3-0 after 40 minutes of play. Referees are going to try and sort this out, and we'll see if there's going to be penalties after this period is done. Foe not happy, still talking a little bit, skating away from the play. Scardina's talking with Wallen and the referee.
Niedermeyer.
Sean Fernandez, Derek Berkebile, Billy Hancock, and Logan Hollow.
Niedermeyer jawing with Trotter as Trotter skates by the BG bench on his way off the ice.
Don't know if we're going to get penalties. It looks like we are, as the referee is talking to Ryan O'Hara. So we're probably going to get a penalty on a couple of Falcons, maybe a couple of Tommies as well, if I had to guess. But we'll talk about it after we take our short break and bring you back for the Marta Crow second intermission report. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Catch all the action of BGSU athletics right here on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU FM. Student play-by-play announcers broadcast all the sports you want to hear, including football, basketball, hockey, volleyball, and more. Don't miss a single game with coverage of BGSU athletics from the Falcon Media Sports Network on WBGU FM and streaming worldwide on bgfalconmedia.com.
BGSU softball takes on the Monmouth Hawks in Game 2 of a Saturday doubleheader in Spartanburg, South Carolina on Saturday, February 8th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak will have a recap of both the Friday and Saturday game on bgfalconmedia.com.
Catch all the action of BGSU athletics right here on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU FM. Student play-by-play announcers broadcast all the sports you want to hear, including football, basketball, hockey, volleyball, and more. Don't miss a single game with coverage of BGSU athletics from the Falcon Media Sports Network on WBGU FM and streaming worldwide on bgfalconmedia.com.
Hi, I'm Lauren Hovey on the BGSU volleyball team, and these are my Falcon 4 off-day activities. My first one would be spend time with family and friends if they're in town, because I love them. My second one would be read my book, because it's relaxing. My third one would be go get coffee, because who doesn't love coffee? And my fourth one would be go get groceries so I can make food for the week.
Northwest Ohio's community radio station is currently looking for music submissions from local and regional artists. As a local non-commercial radio station, WBGU celebrates local musicians and offers opportunities for independent artists to get their music out to the local community on 88.1 FM and worldwide on bgfalconmedia.com. Submit your materials now by snail mail or Facebook. Get your music on local radio with WBGU, Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
BGSU softball continues their run at the USC Upstate Tournament with an afternoon matchup against Monmouth on Saturday, February 8th, with first pitch at 12:30 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Henry Costco will have a recap of the event on bgfalconmedia.com.
Hi, I'm Taylor Dyson from BGSU Men's Soccer, and these are my Falcon 4 teammates that I would like to have in the Hunger Games. The first one would be Brennan Graves, because he's pretty much built like a bear. He's a big guy. The second I would like Josh Erlinson, just because he knows all that wilderness stuff. He's good in the woods. The third one I'd have Trace Terra, just because he's a tall guy and he can reach a lot of stuff that I can't. And the fourth guy would be Mads Christiansen, because if we ever got in trouble, he would be the first person we sacrifice. Thank you.
Catch all of the action of BGSU athletics right here on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, WBGU FM. Student play-by-play announcers broadcast all the sports you want to hear, including football, basketball, hockey, volleyball, and more. Don't miss a single game with coverage of BGSU athletics from the Falcon Media Sports Network on WBGU FM and streaming worldwide on bgfalconmedia.com.
Welcome back to the Slater Family Ice Arena. Bowling Green on top 3-0 over St. Thomas. Little pick-the-stick update here. Tyler Kavelitz leading with Cole Moore, who has all 3 of his points for the 3 goals that Cole Moore has not given up. Brett Foe with a point for myself. Lucas Kleinmeyer with Ryan O'Hara and a half a point. Nobody else scoring. Nathan Burkett. The second period is pretty good for Bowling Green. Why don't you walk us through it?
Absolutely. Not as much of an action as we saw in the first. Obviously, only 1 goal compared to 2, but the 1 goal coming off an absolute snipe from junior forward Brett Foe, who is able to get, I believe, his 5th.
Yeah, his 5th goal of the season.
5th goal of the season. 12th point of the year, continuing his point streak. Last game was able to get 3 assists. This time he was able to get a goal. Also continuing their goal streaks, Scardina, Passanen, among other players.
Certainly a great all-around offensive performance for Bowling Green as well, who had a strong amount of shots on goal in that second period as well. I don't know the exact stats of it, as they haven't given me the paper yet, but Bowling Green leading in shots on goal 20-14 and total shots 35-23. So the quality of offensive chances have been better for Bowling Green. The number of offensive chances have been better for Bowling Green. They've maintained higher puck percentage as well as face-offs, with the 20 face-off wins, only 16 face-off losses. They've taken more penalty minutes for sure, but their defense even showed that they were immaculate, because they held off a 5-minute major with nothing to go on one of the best power play crews in the CCHA, and frankly has made St. Thomas look silly offensively in this game.
Absolutely. Usually, like, if you watch highlights of St. Thomas, they're a very offensive team. They're a team that has Cooper Gay, Liam Malmquist, Lucas Wallen. Those are very big, popular, I don't say popular, not very big, skillful players who are constantly putting up all the big points. And they're not really getting many big opportunities, obviously holding them to only 18 shots against one of the most, against one of the teams in the CCHA who get the most shots on goal. It's a big deal. We talked about earlier how O'Hara was able to get his 100th shot on goal of the year so far. He is now one of only 4 players in CCHA who have 100 goals. Oh my God, who have 100 shots on goal.
It's okay. Words are hard.
I know.
Words are hard.
I'm not an English major.
Yeah.
I'm a media production major. But the other 3 are Lucas Wallen, Liam Malmquist, and Cooper Gay. Cooper Gay, of course, leading. He's going into this game had over 115 shots on goal, not goals. So you have these 3 players on St. Thomas who are out here. They're usually getting all the big opportunities, big chances, and so far, BG's doing a good job of, like, I'm assuming they watched all the tape and they see where all 3 of those players usually put up the points and usually score their goals, and they're just not letting them get to those situations. They're not letting specifically Cooper Gay, who leads St. Thomas in goals and is tied with Brody Waters for most goals in the CCHA. They're not letting him get to his office, which is right in front of the net. They're not letting him get there. They're out muscling him, not letting him get good opportunities off.
Only 2 recorded shots on goal for Cooper Gay, one of them in front of the blue paint, but one of them from pretty solid distance. Liam Malmquist has taken a lot from the right wing next to the face-off dot, but none of them have landed so far, all of them being saved by Cole Moore, who's done a great job at stepping into the shooting lane of Liam Malmquist, and Lucas Wallen as well, who has not had very many offensive chances. He's only got 2 total shots and 2 shots on goal as well, although he's been pretty solid in the face-off wheels, just above 500 for St. Thomas, and he's probably been the best so far. Jake Bersini's in there as well, and the 3rd and 4th line centers have not been very good, and we're seeing St. Thomas step away from those 3rd and 4th lines a lot, as they're going to need offense in this 3rd period, and those first 2 lines are 2 lines that have skated the vast majority of this game. They're going to be skating on tired legs in this 3rd against a Falcon team that has been pretty well rested aside from the 5-minute major.
Absolutely, and again, they're going to be looking to their offensive scorers to get these points and goals and bring them back into just a situation where they might have a shot to pull their goalie. And they're going to look to Cooper Gay, who's their leading scorer. And as I mentioned, players like Passan and Scardina, they're out muscling Gay so far this game. They're not letting him get to his office. They're not letting him get the good opportunities. And as Gay continues to play, he's just going to get more and more tired, which is honestly is going to make it easier for players like Passan and Scardina, O'Hara. It's going to make it easier for them to out-muscle him and just knock the puck off his stick.
Cole Moore, 14 saves, no goals allowed. Aaron Trotter, 17 saves, 3 goals allowed, so Moore has been fantastic so far in this game, chasing something that he hasn't had in quite a while and really needs this game to get him back to the confidence level that he should have. There are 2 penalties that I just realized that have been enforced on the Falcons. Jaden Grant's going to take 2 minutes for roughing, and Mason Pullman's going to get the same. So too much pushing going on at the end of that play before we took our break after the second period, and they just decided to give offsetting, put 2 guys in the box, and we will probably have 4-on-4, possibly a 5-on-5, and then the legs at the box after the next whistle. If I had to guess, it's going to be one of those 2. Just don't know what they're going to go with yet. Around the CCHA, we'll look at what's happening around the Central Collegiate Hockey Association. Minnesota State and Augustana just started an hour ago, and 42 minutes ago, and they are at the end of period number 1 with no score between the 2 sides. That's some of the best goaltending in the nation right now. Alex Tracy and Josh Kotai going head-to-head in Mankato, and it's 0-0 at this time. The 1 and 2 team in the CCHA and the 19 and the 18 team in the NCAA. Northern Michigan scores 2 straight goals and ties Lake Superior State is there at the second intermission. Connor Milburn, Timo Bakos, the first 2 goals for Lake Superior State. And then Graydon Slipik and Jesse Tucker, the 2 goals in the second period from Northern Michigan. That's all the scoring we've got up until the second intermission for Lake State and Northern Michigan in Sault Ste. Marie. Bowling Green obviously on top 3-0 over St. Thomas. And Bemidji State a 2-1 lead over Michigan Tech. Michigan Tech just scored an unassisted goal with Owen Baker to start this third period. They're about 5 minutes in, but Bemidji State's Noah Quinn and Eric Martin with the 2 goals in the second period, giving them a 2-1 lead. That's a big game for Bemidji State to win for Bowling Green, as Michigan Tech is ahead of them in the standings. And it's impossible, but you hope that some combination of Augustana and Minnesota State can also win this weekend as well.
Absolutely. Talking about how powerful this fan base is and how much it will mean for momentum to have a home series, especially to open up the playoffs for BG. I feel like it may be the difference between winning and losing in that first round. It could be the home series. And to have a situation where you know that if you win the first round, you might have an opportunity to continue to play in front of a home crowd, that's going to mean everything to these players.
We are at the hardest remaining series of the rest of the season for Bowling Green. This series, the U.S. development team next weekend in an exhibition, and then Bemidji State away and Lake Superior State at home. That is the rest of the season for Bowling Green. This certainly the toughest contest, and 2 periods out of 6 are expired. We'll bring you the 3rd out of 6 this weekend, and hopefully 3 points in the CCHA for Bowling Green in a few short minutes. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
To get your music played on Northwest Ohio's community radio station, submit your materials via snail mail or through Facebook. Additional opportunities include on-air interviews, live performances, and more. Promote your band and your music on Northwest Ohio's community radio station. Submit your materials now and start engaging with a larger audience. Return to Radio Freedom with local music on 88.1 FM WBGU Bowling Green.
Hey everyone, Falcon Media Sports Director Lucas Kleinmeyer here. You're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
BGSU softball takes on USC Upstate for the second game of a 2 series on Saturday, February 8th at 3 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Henry Costco will have a recap of the event available on bgfalconmedia.com.
My name is Jamal Johnson, number 6, running back in the senior, and here are my Falcon 4 favorite candies. First we have Skittles, Sour Patch Kids, Reese's Pieces, and Hershey Kisses. And these are my favorite because when you're at Halloween and you dump out that bag, these are the best Halloween candies to pull out. So those are my favorites.
Brain Grub, exploring the psychology and science of behavior to improve your mental health and life balance. Listen weekly on Wednesdays from 3 to 4 p.m. for topics about health, psychology, and human behaviors. Join psychologist Dr. Christine Fair and co-host Kaylee Bowen as they inspire, encourage, and offer usable approaches to impact your life in a positive way.
Be a part of Black Swamp Players, BG's award-winning community theater group. BSP produces a 5-show season, adds on the winning play from our Playwriters competition, hosts improv and special events, and is totally volunteer-run. You can be part of this inclusive arts community in many ways, on the stage, in the director chair, as an usher, watching from the audience. Come see our Black Box Theater and find out how you can be involved. More at blackswampplayers.org.
Hey everyone, Zach here. Thank you for listening to 88.1 WBGU FM. Additional information about the station can be found on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram by searching at WBGU FM. There, you can stay up to date on the latest WBGU news or learn about any upcoming radio events in the community. Thank you. Here's Zach, signing off.
Two players going to head to the box to start this third period, Jaden Grant and actually what looks to be Ethan Gower, although I don't think that's the proper guy being sent to the box, but that's who they're allowing to go. So Gower's going to go off for two with Jaden Grant. Don't know whether or not it is going to be the first whistle after the time expires or whether or not they're going to leave the box, but it's going to be 4-on-4 for Bowling Green and St. Thomas. Ben Korak here with Nathan Burkett from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Our videographer here, Nick Windholtz, just posted on our Twitter, BG_FMSN, a couple of the goals. So if you want to see the goals being scored by Bowling Green, none by St. Thomas so far, go to BG_FMSN. For the recap, go to BGFalconMedia.com. And for the rebroadcast and video content, go to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel there. Malmquist gets spun out of the play. He's hurt there. Gets back up to his feet. Duran down to the goal line. Pushes it off the half wall. Now looks for another white jersey as O'Hara was pushed down to the ice away from the play. Now O'Hara back down and around to Norris. Norris is there on the left wing and taken away by Malmquist. Malmquist up the right wing. Good move, spinning outside of the play. It's going to be an offside warning against St. Thomas as Malmquist has spent this entire shift pretty much on the ice. Now skates off as Bersini comes on. Foe takes it up with the 4-on-4. Under a minute left to play in 4-on-4. Parker up to Foe, and it's going to be an offsides against Bowling Green. With minute 10 expired in the third.
Foe got a little too fancy on the blue line there.
3-0 Bowling Green, leading in shots on goal by 6. Much better opportunities, and their defense has been better in this game too. And all around, better game played by Bowling Green so far, but still 18:40 left to play. Waz pass up to Zlinka. Zlinka down the right wing. Avoids the referee there, loses the puck. Now skating in is Scardina. Bumps up with the other 17, Jake Bersini. Both centermen up the ice now. Poolman with the puck out to Gay. Gay tips it over to Moore. Moore gloves it and holds on with Cooper Gay streaking in. And Parker to shield him. 18:15 left to play in the third now. A couple of whistles and some early whistles for Bowling Green as it was a high-paced game in the first and early in the second. And then after that penalty Bowling Green took, it was pretty slow pace after that. Some tired legs around these two squads.
Especially for the power play and penalty killers on both these teams. They've been playing a lot of minutes, but they got to play a couple more.
Passing him back. Got the puck in his own zone. Now leaves it back for Eamon. Eamon digging it off the boards. And back behind the goal line as well to Niedermeyer. Up to Passanen. Good stick work by the Falcons. Tape to Passanen again. Up the right wing. Dumps it in and cuts to the inside as it's going to be Ray Christie. Grabs this puck and takes it up the right wing. Ethan Elias now turns it over to Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer is streaking away down the left wing. Niedermeyer looking for a pass at the goal line. His shot is wide of the goal, and he takes it away to the right wing now. up to the blue line. Bowling Green outside the zone, dumps it back in, and goes now for a change. Wholesale for the Falcons. Sternberg is not able to get off. He's playing with Karodiak right now. Good stick work to Waters. Waters up the right wing, and that'll get Sternberg off. Probably, oh no, he'll stay on. Sternberg, a warrior out there on the blue paint. Taken away. Ryan O'Hara with the shot saved by Trotter. He's been perfect since early in the second period. Big hit. Karodiak up to Duran. Duran with the puck now in the neutral zone in front of his own bench. Waters getting in there as well, and Chase Foley will take it away back in his own zone. Pass up. Jay Safo chasing the puck in the zone. Parker to Zlinka. Zlinka left wing up to O'Hara. Norris in his own zone, up to Central. Cheslock to Foley. Foe puts a hit on there, finishes his check. Zlinka cutting over toward the net, but nobody there to get a pass to him as it's still tied up on the boards. Parker across to Zlinka. Zlinka goes for a pass. Malmquist is leading up there. Shot high of the goal. Across to Gower. Gower with the dump back in. Wallen with the puck across. Gower will range all the way in. Norris out to Zlinka. Zlinka tips it over to Grant, and Grant will take it out of the O zone of St. Thomas. Be an offside warning against Bowling Green. Jaden Grant with the center ice hit, and he'll head off. 16 left to play in the third period. 3-0. Bowling Green leads. The whistle finally blows at a big hit by Foe. And now Bowling Green and St. Thomas getting tied up there. That's a pretty good scrum with Quinn Emerson, who I believe got knocked there at the end of that play. Foe got stood up pretty hard, and it might be fighting in there instead of Emerson.
We'll see some penalties come out of this.
But we're seeing some early aggression and physicality from both of these teams. Normally it's a little bit into the second game, and we're going to see Cole Miller head off. And we're going to see Seth Fighton head off as well. So the referees have had enough of this, and they're going to send off 2 for cross-checking and 2 for roughing. So another 4-on-4 Bowling Green's going to get. 16 minutes left to play in the third. This is good for Bowling Green when it's offsetting.
BG on that first 4-on-4 played like it was a power play. That's how strong they were throughout it.
Offense has been great. Now they got the more defensive lineup out. And it's Scardina, Passanen, Emerson, and Wozni. Scardina on a hot streak offensively. Passanen is as well, but not known for their offense. Emerson and Wozni certainly not known for the high scorers as they are. Box is still open.
Cole Miller's helmet has to go be skated by the referee to the bench to get some repairs.
Now the CCHA official in the box of St. Thomas is talking to the official. They're still looking things over right now. The box still will not close. I don't know what Rico Blasi is talking to the referee about.
They're fixing Cole Miller's helmet. They got to send it back over to him.
Cole Moore's helmet? Oh, Cole Miller's helmet.
Cole Miller.
Okay. I thought you said Cole Moore before.
Oh, if
he had his helmet back, that's why I was confused.
If I did, I apologize. Cole Miller, the St. Thomas player in the box.
They are fixing his helmet, now taking it back to him, and now we can start play as Miller's got his bucket back. Defense out for Bowling Green, offense out for St. Thomas. And this one is a face-off one and lead all the way up to Cheslock. Cheslock with a shot is high and off of the shoulder of Cole Moore. Centering pass, Malmquist is there, now taken away. Lucas Wallen ranging in toward the blue paint, and he's knocked away by Scardina. Perfect execution there on the defensive end by Scardina. Emerson up the right side now. At the circle, takes it over, inside, backhand chance, and Trotter rejects it. Emerson wears a big hit. His skate clears over into the slot. He'll have to pick this one up. No, he'll just skate off as he was hit kind of hard. Lead pass up to Malmquist. Malmquist down the right wing. Shot saved by Cole Moore as that shot was pretty far away by Malmquist, and he didn't make a great move. Now O'Hara takes it up the right wing. He's got a 1-on-3 against 3 Tommies. Turns it back around, down to the goal line. Still has the puck, weaseling his way in to the blue paint. Shot and rejected by Trotter there again. Just over a minute left to play in the 4-on-4 before the guys come out of the box. Pullman with the puck, still being bullied by a Falcon forechecker. Cooper Gay on the ice now for Bowling Green. Brasini takes it up the right wing. Shot saved by Cole Moore. Slap over in front, and Duran takes it away. Bowling Green playing a couple of guys back now. Sacrificing offense to St. Thomas. Another shot in by Duran as he's forced away from the play. Sternberg puts a big hit on Gay, and Gay's talking to him as they return fire. Now out. Stick check. Niedermeyer puts a hit on Brasini. Shot back around. Bowling Green. Sternberg goes for the body and knocks the St. Thomas Tommy down. It's Ethan Elias that blew a tire. Now Emanen with a shot high and kicks around to the blue line of Bowling Green. McKinley dumps it back in. Niedermeyer, it's too long for him. And it'll be Grant Doctor back there with 10 seconds left to play on the 4-on-4. Both players standing up. Seth fighting one of them. Parker goes for the body. No pass there. And neither team really had too much offensive chance. Malmquist with the only shot on goal in that 4-on-4. Parker with the puck. Good pass off of the bank behind the goal. Up to Fighton in center. Fighton down the right wing. Tips it up. Under 14 left to play in the third period. BG still leads 3-0. Emerson, Passanen, and Foe, the 3 goals scored. Moore has still not allowed a goal in this game. Pass up down to the goal line. Casey Leyland. It's going to be a whistle and I think an offsides against St. Thomas as they were streaking into the zone. Passanen will put a hit on, or Martin will put a hit on now on fellow 15 Quentin Pepper.
They'll exchange some words and some glances. That's one thing I expect to hear you say a couple more times, probably more than going for the puck, is going for the body. Seems both teams are trying to abandon trying to play the puck and are just playing the physical game now.
Especially Bowling Green, who's somewhat abandoned offense and gone for their more defensive lineups and gone for a more defensive formation as well.
Now on the faceoff, a Tommy and a Falcon.
Ray Christie getting into it with
Brett Foe.
Foe's in there as well.
Still
Chops at the
slashing
skate of Ray Christie, and Grant will be kicked out, and Foe will have to go in. Christie not getting into it with Grant, so it must have just been a Foe and Christie thing. Grant still bullying with Christie, and it's back around after the faceoff won by St. Thomas. Sappho in there with Passanen and Pepper. Pepper ricochets it back out to Carson Peters at the blue line. Around to Sappho. Saffo's down there on the right wing. He's forced down to the ice by Karodiak. Karodiak takes the puck away and gets it to Passanen. Great defensive recovery there by Ivan Karodiak. And now a pass across to the left wing. Brett Foe streaking down the left at the circle. Shot in. Brett Foe is rejected by Trotter. And it's going to be a face-off to his right. And I think Trotter gloved it as it hit the ice. 13 minutes exactly left to play in the third. Lincoln still leads in shots on goal by 6 and leads in goals by 3.
So St. Thomas starting to get more and more frustrated. You said this might end up being like one of BG's bigger rivals, and as someone who came here throughout their childhood and watched as that was like the big rivalry was always BG versus Michigan Tech, I have to start thinking this might have replaced Michigan Tech as BG's #1 rival, as this is not just normal CCHA animosity in hockey. This is truly like a rivalry hockey.
Always a fun weekend. Orange and brown and purple and black. Now Waters takes up the right wing. His shot in is off the skate of Chase Foley and out to the glass behind Trotter. Now out. Sternberg gladly takes it outside the zone and flips it up to waste some time. Update around the CCHA. Bemidji State has scored 3 goals straight in the third period, leading Michigan Tech 5-1. Wallen across. Malmquist with a shot and a glove save by Colmore. What a nab by the sophomore. Saving a goal by Liam Malmquist. 12:27 left to play in the third. Still 3-0 Bowling Green. As I was saying about Bemidji State, Yuri Vizenen, Casper Magnuson, and Jake McLean each scored goals in the third period. It's pretty much a game on ice for Bemidji State against Michigan Tech. Lake Superior State scored a goal, 3-2 now in favor of them. Grant Hinman, the most recent from the Lakers, as there's another save by Cole Moore. And still no score with 4 minutes expired in the second period between Minnesota State and Augustana. That's the one that the nation might be watching as well. Michigan State, Michigan tied 1-1. Ohio State, Notre Dame tied, 3-1 Ohio State over Notre Dame. Colorado College and North Dakota tied 1-1. No other really big games going on right now. Scardina with the puck. Down to Wozni. Wozni up to Martin. Martin through center. Left wing shot in. Trotter thought about dropping it, but he holds on and gets his guys a breath. 12 minutes left to play in the third period. 3-0. You know, we're getting on the time where St. Thomas has got to be desperate for goals. You know, Bowling Green's play with the 6-on-5 is not the greatest. Empty net defense has caused them some problems this year, but they need a goal here pretty soon to make it a 2-score game so that they can pull the goalie effectively.
There's nothing stopping them from pulling the goalie with 3, but not much of it.
Oh, big there. Brooke McKinley and Casey Leyland really wore each other's body, and they both took big ones.
You saw McKinley turn around. He was no longer going for a puck. He was.
Yeah, Casey Leyland, they were both shook up a second after that play. Had to realize what happened. Now Leyland takes it up the right wing. A step slower now, you can tell. Down to the goal line, wraps it around. Chipped away by Passanen, who got his stick inside the passing lane of Casey Leyland, and they'll skate off to the bench. Emerson with the pass out to Emanen. Emanen shot and is blocked by St. Thomas. That's going to be offsides against Norris, who had to play it like it was onside. And I don't think it was offsides. But apparently it cleared that blue line. And we're going to get another face-off in neutral ice. Zinka, Grant, and Foe out for BG. No scoring since 16 minutes left to play in the second period. Bowling Green's happy with that. St. Thomas obviously not, considering they have not scored yet in this game. Ray Christie, Parker with a shot in, gloved by Trotter with Zlinka and Foe in his face. And he'll hold on again. So even with a 3-goal lead and almost half of the third period expired, Bowling Green still going at the offensive net. Impressive approach from Willie and the Falcons. And some animosity there between Willie and Rico Blasi. And Willie was a head coach with Bowling Green back in the early 2000s, and Rico Blasi was a head coach of a Miami of Ohio. Some big fights going on. You can look it up on YouTube for sure. On the blue paint, another cleanup chance by Bowling Green. And
I see some big
we're
fights
get,
now.
Oh my gosh. Some real punches and cross checks being thrown behind the goal of Aaron Trotter. Trotter will step out of the goal. Oh, and he's going to get pushy.
He's going to get involved in it now.
He's going to get pushy with Brody Waters. Waters is getting into it with Chase Cheslock.
I want to see Cole Moore join this.
This is a big one. Moore's going to stay in the goal. They can't afford another goalie injury. But there's a tie-up, true tie-up behind the goal of St. Thomas.
Waters is still involved.
11 minutes left to play
Cheslock
in the third period. Tensions boiling as St. Thomas looks quite frustrated with this.
I've been trying to look it up on Twitter and I can't find it. Dartmouth College versus, I can't remember if it was Colgate or Cornell. I knew it was a C logo. A couple weeks ago after their rival game got in a massive fight. That was all over Twitter and YouTube. I keep looking, I can't find exactly if it was Colgate or Cornell.
Jay Saffo's going to head off to the box. Don't know for how long, and I don't know if a Falcon will. I think they're looking over to the bench to see which Falcon they're going to send. O'Hara's going to talk with the referees and Lucas Wall. And
O'Hara was right in the middle of that.
He was.
It was, for a second, it was 1v5. O'Hara versus all 5 skaters for St. Thomas.
I have CCHA referees do before where if they see the first cross check or the first punch, they'll send that guy and not the retaliator. It's not that common in hockey, to be honest, but they've done it. This looks like what they're going to do here is do exactly that. I don't know if a Falcon's going to head off.
I was trying to find that Dartmouth fight. I was thinking, like, oh, maybe at the end of this period we might need it.
2 minutes for cross-checking against Sappho.
That'll be the only, so BG will go back in the power play. I've been trying to find it because I thought maybe at the end of this game we might see a similar situation. But here it is right now. Already we got fights going on. The last time BG had fights like this here at the Slater was an exhibition play earlier in the year where they played the Canadian University Simon Fraser. We saw a couple good fights there. Obviously that was an exhibition game, so players were a little bit more willing to drop the mitts.
Certainly one of the most, one of the most physical exhibition games I've ever seen. Normally you don't get that chippy. And, we talked about it a little bit all game. I think St. Thomas is really taking the reins as one of the rivals for Bowling Green based on what I saw earlier in the season in St. Thomas, and certainly based on what we've seen here tonight. No Falcon's going to head off. We're going to get a 5-on-4 Bowling Green advantage. And Bowling Green is going to challenge the penalty for a potential major or disqualification. So we'll take a step back while they look at this as well. Jay Saffo possibly might not see the ice again. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
You're listening to 88.1 WBGU, where we're looking to make radio indie again. From blues and jazz to rock and metal, and even pop and folk, 88.1 WBGU FM features a variety of genres played by our diverse group of DJs. You can expect something different every time you tune in. 88.1 WBGU. Return to Radio Freedom.
'BGSU softball begins a new era under head coach Michelle Gardner after she returns to the program where her coaching career began as an assistant coach in 1992. The Falcons return 16 players from their 2024 roster on top of 1 transfer and 6 new freshmen. Junior Kendall Matthews, the lone transfer on the 2025 roster, joins as a junior from Lakeland College, where she earned an all-region first-team selection as a sophomore with a .310 batting average on 9 home runs and 33 RBIs. The Falcons open up the season by playing their first 24 games on the road, including 11 in South Carolina, 5 in Oklahoma, 5 in Indiana, and 3 in Buffalo. This has been 60 Seconds in Falcon Athletics.
Nine minutes expired through the third period. 3-0 Bowling Green leads, and we're getting a review by the officials, Sean Fernandez and Derek Berkebile, in the box to see what the penalty situation is going to be coming out of a large scrum that was going on behind the goal of Aaron Trotter. Ben Korek here with Nathan Burkett from the Falcon Media Sports Network. We don't know for sure whether or not they're reviewing for a Bowling Green penalty, reviewing for a major. Jay Saffo, who's sitting in the St. Thomas box. It would make far more sense if they were reviewing to see if a Bowling Green player got a penalty. But it is odd because you can't review a no call. So we'll see what the call is here in a few seconds when they come out of the box. They are standing up with their helmets on, so they'll probably be off in a second.
In the meantime, I would like to say I went back, checked. Thank you, College Hockey Now app. It was Dartmouth versus Cornell.
Dartmouth and Cornell, a big fight at the end of the game.
If you want to look that up on YouTube. Oh, yeah, it's Cornell. If you want to look that up on YouTube or Twitter, it was a pretty entertaining fight. So,
referees are out of the box. Sean Fernandez on the line. So, don't know what they said, but the box isn't going to open for Bowling Green. And the time on the clock is not going to change.
And I believe St. Thomas has now lost their timeout due to that challenge.
Minnesota State also just scored a goal over Augustana. That's the second place versus the first place team in the CCHA. Caden Bolson scored, assisted by Stephen Bellini and Jordan Power. So Minnesota State with a 1-0 lead. Michigan Tech scored a superfluous goal, but there's 2 minutes left in the third period in that game, and Bemidji still leads 5-2. Bowling Green on a power play. Has not converted today. Converted their first one in a long time against Northern Michigan. The shot in is off of Cheslock. And out around to Norris. Norris back, centering pass. Shot off the post by Max Martin. It'll be dumped back down to O'Hara. O'Hara at the left wheel, forced down to the ice. Now back out to Sternberg. Sternberg wears a hit as he was pinning that one up against the boards to keep it inside the blue line. He took a hit, but he got it. Looking for a pass. Crosses it all the way to Grant, and it's outside of the zone. Bowling Green will have to chase it back into their D zone with 10 minutes left to play in the third. Luke Leyland in there on the forecheck. Centerman on the third line, the junior out of St. Michael, Minnesota, brothers with Casey Leyland, who's playing on the same line today. This one's cleared back outside the blue line. Emanen playing defense with Breck McKinley. A game where Bowling Green's leading. They still have 4 forwards and 1 defenseman, and that's Breck McKinley, pretty offensively minded. Pullman with the puck will ice it back down now with 50 seconds left and the penalty. Moore plays the puck behind the goal line outside. Norris will have the puck now with Martin, O'Hara, Sternberg, and Waters. Waters straddling the Falcon offensive blue line. Now out to the left wing and Martin. Martin takes it down to the goal line, looking for a wraparound pass, and he'll get it back out to the blue line and Waters. Waters takes a step in toward the stick that's on the ice. Out to Norris. Norris, slap shot, left side, and is wide of the goal. That was Sternberg in there on the left wing. Martin is being really bumped by Cooper Gay, and Cooper Gay will clear back up the ice. 9:15 left to play in the third. 10 minutes left to play. Moore plays the puck with a hard forecheck by Cage Sturzer. Into Wozni. Wozni on the left wing. Lead pass up to Emanen. Emanen a crossing pass, and Trotter will poke it away from the blue paint and will have a successful penalty kill for St. Thomas. It'll be an icing against St. Thomas as well, as Wozni was going to be the first one back to touch it. They will not get a change. And Bowling Green will get a face-off, even strength, but in the offensive zone again. Both teams 0 for 2 on the power play now. Bowling Green leading in face-offs 27-20. Shots on goal 27-20, and total shots by 15. Face-off won by Bowling Green. Niedermeyer with a shot in. Trotter didn't have a beat on it, but it missed the goal. Waz with another shot in front. Another one, chipped around a couple of times. Ray Christie takes it away. 0 points this season for Christie. Played both games against Bowling Green earlier in the season. Has played this one as well. Liam Malmquist at the point, shot in off of the half wall. Quentin Pepper back around. 9 minutes left to play in the third. Out to the blue line. St. Thomas again has not had many of these offensive stands behind the goal. Wrap around Quentin Pepper and taken away by Seth Fighton. It's a 2-on-1 for Bowling Green. Niedermeyer on the left, Fighton on the right. Fighton working in, pass across to Niedermeyer. Shot saved by Trotter, who directed that one away outside of the right goalposts. Korodiak back on the ice now. Limited shifts today, but he's played a decent amount for an extra skating defenseman. Gloves and drops this one in, taken away. Jaden Grant with the puck down at the goal line, back around toward the blue line. Now dumps it back in. Martin is there along the half wall. Goal line again. Low angle shot off of Trotter. One of those was banked in last week. That was the first goal of the season by Tommy Pasanen. Banked off of the back of the goaltender from Northern Michigan, Ryan Ouellette. Backhand try, Lucas Wallen. Little bit of a not great shot. Just trying to put some volume on the board now, St. Thomas. Pullman puts a hit on, turns the puck over. Cage Sturzer to the right wing. Shot saved by Cole Moore. Trying to toe drag it around is Sturzer again. Korodiak back there, and he gets it away out from behind the goal line. 7 minutes left to play in the third. 3-0 Bowling Green. Out into neutral ice, back into the D zone of the Falcons. And St. Thomas will hold on to neutral ice. Far side of the ice. Across to Waters. Waters in center to Cooper Gay. Gay just will not leave his feet. Doesn't matter how hard they hit Gay. He just has so much stability on skates. Norris to Sternberg, right side. Now to Waters, into center. Turns it over to Sturzer. Sturzer with Cooper Gay playing the offensive blue line, looking for a pass. Gay puts a hit on Waters as well. Pretty similar sized forwards there. Waters 6'3", Gay 6'4", and around that 210-pound mark. Another shot in, taken away. Ryan O'Neill streaking in, but is cleared. Cooper Gay with a shot from the left wing off the skate of a Falcon. This one's in front, and it's still in front on the doorstep, kept away by Bowling Green. Can they cover it up? It's still loose in front. The whistle blows. It did not cross the plane with 6 minutes left to play in the third. I think Cole Moore covered it up. That one was really dangerous. Ryan O'Neill, Jake Brasini, and Chase Cheslock were in there really working on that puck. The luck in favor of Bowling Green. Nothing happens at the end of that play. We're kind of looking for fights now, but 6 minutes left to play in the third at our break in the action. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hey, what's this show?
It's the Blues Breakfast. It's probably good for you.
Did you try it?
I'm not gonna try it, you try it.
I'm not gonna try it.
Let's get Mikey.
Yeah.
He won't listen, he hates everything.
He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
Be like Mikey. Catch the Blues Breakfast every Saturday morning from 10 to 2 on 88.1, Ohio's premier blues radio show.
Hey, it's Reese Petrikis, and you're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Back in the Madhouse on Mercer, and the madness continues in the Falcons' defensive end. St. Thomas with all their scorers out on the ice now, or most of them at least, as they need to make up a 3-goal deficit against Bowling Green with 6 minutes left to play in the third. Ben Korek here with Nathan Burkett. Nathan, it's been a pretty good game so far for Bowling Green. Not a whole lot to criticize if you're the Falcons.
The only thing we could criticize is the power play, which we've been able to criticize a couple games now, but even though they played good, just couldn't get a goal. Faceoff will be in BG zone, won by St. Thomas.
Taken away, passing it through the slot. Lead pass up to Scardina. Scardina takes it up the right wing. He's got a head of steam, working it in. Pass across, and Martin was too far to the inside to complete that pass and goal. The give and go would have been beautiful on that and really seal this game for the Falcons. Fighting, giving a forecheck up to Bersini. Bersini across to Cheslock. Cheslock and Foley will be the defensive unit for the majority of the remainder of this game, the two highest scoring defensemen. Centering pass off of the skate of Fighton, perfectly placed. Luke Leyland back outside the blue line, and St. Thomas will have to chase it back down. Pass up, big hit by Emanen. Didn't turn the puck over, however. The Tommies up into the O zone, and now all 5 players in the D zone of the Falcons. They're going to play a couple back at all times, I think. Wozni back up. Light skating into the zone. Passing in. Fans on this one in the breakaway. Liam Malmquist with essentially a one-on-one. His shot is wide of the goal. Malmquist has not had the greatest game in the world, and the Falcon defense has been on him a lot of that time, but that was a great opportunity for St. Thomas. Kicked away. Out to Doctor. Grant Doctor near side. Pass into the slot. Should have probably just taken a shot as Ethan Gower had no stick really available to him as it was being tied up by Emanen. Emanen with the puck, lifts it over the stick of Gower. Out to central ice, Niedermeyer up the ice. 4.5 minutes left to play in the third period. 3-0 Bowling Green leads. On the right wing, Malmquist, pass across to Malmquist in the slot, but it's long for him. Foe up to central, and he's got it on the logos. Linka on the right wing, shot in front, Schroeder. And a good play there by Foe. And another fight happening.
Foe goes down.
Foe forced down to the ice. St. Thomas in there with Bowling Green.
One's in.
4 skaters from each side's in there. Parker and Malmquist looking out as it was actually a fantastic play by Foe to jump over the goaltender, Aaron Trotter, and keep away from hitting him. He could have ran over Aaron Trotter, and it wouldn't have been a problem with how far he was skating in, and Aaron Trotter laying out for that save.
Saw Sternberg run in there.
We're going to get the box open. We are. Cole Miller is going to be sent off.
Again.
That's going to be his second penalty of the game, and I think Bowling Green's going to get one too.
Jaden Grant still talking. Now we're going to see.
Grant's going to be off, and we're going to get Ethan Gower head off as well. Gower, Grant, and Cole Miller.
Gower arguing. No, they won't go Ethan Gower.
Gower is going to be possibly forced off the ice, and he's going to be tossed.
I mean, absolutely. I don't know if he was originally going to get tossed, but then while they were walking him and Grant to the penalty box, he went after Grant again, which, what are you doing at that point? That's just pure stupidity.
And
Grant's getting tossed.
Grant is going to be sent off as well.
I would hold Grant a couple of seconds. Let Gower get down. And Grant's hyping up the crowd as he goes off, but I would hold Grant a couple of seconds. Let Gower get back to his locker room, because at this point, if you let them off at the same time, they will fight in the hallway there.
Grant, 4 penalties, 8 total minutes coming into this game. Has already had a 2-minute in this game, so he's up to 5 penalties and 10 total minutes, plus the misconduct will add 10 minutes on top of that. And Ethan Gower as well. He's a guy who takes some penalties, 7 penalties for 14 minutes this season, is going to take a 10-minute misconduct on top of that.
The ref has to read a whole short story to go for all these penalties.
3-0 BG on top. 4 minutes left to play. It's going to be a 2-minute power play for the Falcons, I believe. As we're going to have Cole Miller sitting in the box for 2. That's his third and fourth penalty minute of the game when he serves this out. Statistician still trying to keep up with it. It's 5-4 on the ice right now. And starting to thin out a little bit here in the Slater Family Ice Arena as the outcome is pretty clear. Only going to be about 2 minutes and 9 seconds of play left after the penalty is expired.
If you're forgetting about the score, and especially for the fans here only focusing on the violence, I don't blame you, but BG is still up 3-0.
Back down into the zone. Moore will stop it at the goal line, and it'll be taken away by Norris. Norris with slow skating and no reason to skate hard for the next 2 minutes unless you really want to get a goal, and which is Willie's MO. Don't let up. O'Hara crosses it to Waters. Waters with a shot wide right of the goal. He had a chance and a half there through the slot on more the left wing side and directed it to the right wing side. Had Trotter beat but missed the goal. Sternberg in there and taken away by Waters again. Waters interfered with down to the goal line. Martin ices it back around to Norris. Norris wears a hit from Cooper Gay across. Sternberg shot high. Rings around to the blue line again. O'Hara playing the blue line as a defenseman. Down to Norris. Norris on the right wing. O'Hara in the center. And Sternberg on the left. That's the lineup that they love. Norris to O'Hara. Now they switch. O'Hara on the left wing now. Waters behind to O'Hara. Back out to the blue line and Norris. Under a minute left to play in the man advantage for BG. A goal will all but seal it. Sternberg to O'Hara. O'Hara a shot in. Score! Maybe tipped in front by Brody Waters, but Ryan O'Hara with the shot in, and I think he's going to get it. 17:03 the time of the goal. And Ryan O'Hara will lead the charge for Bowling Green.
Well, any hope for St. Thomas they can come back in this game has all but left the building. You got to wonder now, if they were violent before, will the violence pick up even more so now that their fate has been sealed?
9 goals in 2 months for Ryan O'Hara, his first against RIT in this building on December 29th. And since then, he has been on an offensive tear.
He just needed the one.
Under 3 left to play in the third period. Ryan O'Hara assisted by Sternberg and Norris. Both deserve a assist in this game for how well they've played. Sternberg, Norris, and Passanen all with points. 4 total points in this game by defensemen. Back in the zone, St. Thomas with the puck now. 2:20 left to play in the third. Pass up the ice, down the left wing, and Parker will be there. He'll wing it off the boards, and McKinley will get his way back. St. Thomas playing their lower guys now. Ethan Gower out of the box, obviously on that power play goal by Ryan O'Hara. Only power play goal in this game. Bowling Green 1 for 3 now on the man advantage. Ryan O'Neill with the puck down the left wing. St. Thomas just looking to make this look like an even closer game than it is. Up to O'Neal, cross into the slot, tip up the ice toward the bench, but it's gloved and dropped back into play by Grant Doctor, and it's going to be an offsides as he tries to force it to another purple jersey. Game all but over. Trotter's not going to leave the red iron.
Some of the crowd has thinned out. The student section is still as alive as ever.
Some tarps off in the student section as well, I believe.
The whole left side there, tarps off.
I have to imagine that was around the time that Jaden Grant was hyping up the crowd, giving the let's hear more to the fans. This cross in, off of the post, still nothing there.
I thought that was in.
It's in.
But was the whistle blown first? No, it will be a goal, I believe.
I think it's going to be a goal for St. Thomas as it was pushed. Colmore immediately looking at the monitor to see what the call was, but he'll give up his first in this game. Don't know who the call is going to be. It might be Cooper Gay as he led that charge.
Just 90 seconds before Moore would have been able to get what would have been his second shutout.
Could have been a shutout.
We can say it now.
We can say it now. I was trying to avoid it before. Third period goal, $1:23 left to play in the third. That one pretty much means nothing unless there is a massive fall apart in the next couple of minutes by BG. Emerson to Parker. Parker across to the left wing. Down to the ice. Emerson will chase it in and put a hit on Grant Doctor. Doctor in his own zone. A shot is saved by Trotter and held on to.
Some more action.
Jake Bersini is going to get the goal unassisted. Which is an odd call, to be honest, but
no real shoves or punches thrown in this latest meetup in front of the St. Thomas goaltender.
4-1, Bowling Green leads over St. Thomas, leading in shots on goal as well. Face-offs won, total shots. Nothing really. Bowling Green has not done better than St. Thomas in this game. They've even got a power play goal to St. Thomas's nothing, and the penalty minutes are only 1 minute in favor of the Falcons on the 5-minute major taken by Ben Wozni. Jaden Grant, 12 of those 21 minutes with game misconduct as well as a penalty earlier in the game, but the misconduct not a gameplay thing, so can't hold it against him too much. 5 minutes for Wozni, 2 minutes for Seth Fighton, and then 12 minutes for Ethan Gower, 2 for Jay Saffo, and 4 for Cole Millers. He's taken 2 penalties in this game, both on the roughing side of the game. Minute left to play in the third period, 50 seconds to be exact. Brings it back around to the blue line. Right there, across to Grant Doctor. Grant Doctor on the left wing into center. Now dumping it back down behind. And pass across is going to be a whistle and a penalty, I believe, against the Falcons. Somebody's going to head off. It's going to be Korodiak. That's a unnecessary penalty to take. He's going to get a cross check or a stick to the back. McKinley, Wozni, Scardina, and Fighton on the ice. As St. Thomas could put a goal up here and make it a 2-score game, but they need 3 goals in 38 seconds to make it worth anything. False start. I'll try it again, drop it. Luke Leyland in there with his freshman brother, Casey Leyland. And Ryan O'Neal, junior as well, on the left wing. Turning it back over. McKinley goes off the boards and out to center. St. Thomas can't waste any time if they really want to get a goal here. The pass up to Ryan O'Neal's tipped in. Wozny's there with the puck. He'll dump it back up the ice again. Poolman with the puck. O'Neal pass back, and now a forward pass to Casey Leyland. It's up and dumped outside the zone with 15 left to play in the third. Korodiak will sit in the box for the rest of this. Only serve out the next 5 seconds as Bowling Green will compete a 3-point win against the St. Thomas Tommies here in the Slater Family Ice Arena. A big one to take, and they will try for 6 points tomorrow. Cole Moore with a 1 goal allowed, almost shutout. The last 90 seconds of the game, Jake Persini scored the only goal for St. Thomas, adding on top of a pounding for Bowling Green. And we'll take a step back for a few moments and bring you post-game here from the Slater Family Ice Arena. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hi, this is Christine Lavin. Please listen to The Folk Show, hosted by my old friend David Sears, Thursdays from 6 to 8 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 and streaming at bgfalconmedia.com.
BGSU freshman Reese Riemann broke more records at the Mayo Invitational at the University of Notre Dame, earning her this week's Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week award. Riemann broke the BGSU program record in the mile with a time of 4:46.40, finishing 8th overall and breaking the previous record set 25 years ago by just 0.23 seconds. The previous week in Ypsilanti, Riemann ran a time of 2:09.51 in the 800 meter, the third quickest time in program history dating back to Libby Mitchell's time in 1999. In high school, Riemann was named Greater Akron Cross Country Athlete of the Year and Metro Atlantic Conference Cross Country Runner of the Year 3 times, including a state runner-up performance as a senior. This has been Falcon Media Sports Network's Athlete of the Week.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Bowling Green with a 4-1 win over St. Thomas. After a quite physical third period of play, Bowling Green able to hold on at the end, and pretty key win for Bowling Green in the rest of this season, taking 3 points and guaranteeing at least a split against St. Thomas, who is now not going to be in a home playoff this weekend, and it'll take a pretty big downfall by Bowling Green to drop out of that 4th seed in the CCHA and that home playoff for the rest of the season. Ben Korak here with Nathan Burkett from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Nathan, I will challenge you to try and find one thing that Bowling Green did not do well today. And I really don't think I can think of anything.
Well, for most of the game, I would have said, well, the power play. Well, at the end there, Ryan O'Hara gets the power play goal. So
yeah,
you win. I have nothing I can say.
I really don't have anything to say. The only thing that would have been better is if they were able to hold a goal off the board there that beat Cole Moore. But even that was not like a truly set up play or a good shot. It was one that was in front and just redirected there and beaten down back to the goaltender, and one that we didn't even see, frankly. So Cole Moore, again, finished the game with 24 saves, 1 goal allowed, a .960 save percentage, a really key game for him. He has not allowed less than 3 goals per game since Michigan Tech on 11:30, which he only played for 17 minutes. And before that, he hasn't allowed less than 3 since 11:15 2024 against St. Thomas in the first game, and the 2-2 tie and shootout win for Bowling Green through 65 minutes of play. Thought we were going to get a shutout, and I think I jinxed it by pulling up the stats on it, but he did not have a shutout since the November 1st of 2024 against Ferris State. Unfortunately, I think I jinxed it. I'm sorry, Cole Moore, for taking away your shutout, but he played fantastic nevertheless. Aaron Trotter, however, on the other hand, did not. 29 saves, 4 goals allowed, and an .879 save percentage. The goalies were pretty strong, telling. They were very telling of the story of this game. And Bowling Green's defense held Cole Moore to only 1 goal, and St. Thomas's defense really non-existent. They allowed 4.
Yep. Usually we say, especially in the CCHA, especially recently, we've seen a lot of the best goalie versus the best goalie. We have Stover versus Kotai. Earlier in the year, Stover, actually it was more at the time, versus Tracy. This one, the goaltending wasn't that big of a story compared to some of the other games. It was BG flexing their offensive muscles and hopping out to a 4-goal lead, and then at the end, when I believe, honestly, Cole Moore may have stopped trying when St. Thomas finally popped in there 1 goal.
Scoring summary, Quinn Emerson and Tommy Pastanen within 18 seconds of each other scored in the first period, assisted by Ryan O'Hara on the Emerson goal, and it was unassisted, the second goal by Tommy Pastanen. In the second period, the only goal scored was Brett Foe's wrist shot from the right wing face-off circle. 4 minutes into that second period, assisted by Pastanen and Scardina. Pastanen's second point of the game and his second assist of the season to go along with his second goal of the season as well. And then in the third period, Ryan O'Hara gave Bowling Green a 4-0 lead with his power play goal, assisted by Dalton Norris and Gustav Stjernberg. All three of them played the blue line a lot on that power play. And then we thought it was going to be a shutout for Colmore. It alas was not, but Cage Sturzer was given the credit for the goal, the only goal of the game by St. Thomas, assisted by Jake Bersini and Cooper Gay as well. So a couple of redirections in front, although Bowling Green did a great job of holding a couple of guys off of the board. Lucas Wallen, Cooper Gay, and Liam Malmquist. Malmquist actually 10 shots on goal, 8 shots on goal, 10 total shots, had the most in both departments in this game, and yet did not score a goal. Unfortunately was not able, well, fortunately I guess for the Falcons, was not able to find the back of the net. Cooper Gay only got an assist on a couple of redirects in front. Lucas Wallen didn't score either, so the 3 highest scorers for St. Thomas were held off the board by Falcon D-men.
And that was key when we talked about at the beginning of the game. I will point out, though, that last 30 seconds, even with the power play, the St. Thomas coach did not put any of those big stars out there, and I can only believe why, especially after the Grant and Goddard suspension, not suspension, when they were kicked out of the game. Both teams we saw, they kind of took out some of their stars, stopped playing them. I can only believe that's because both of them, they had some hot heads. They don't want to get a player suspended, especially one like a Cooper Gay, a Malmquist. You don't want any of those guys suspended for tomorrow's game. So for BG, you saw them like they took off Stjernberg. They didn't play him as much in the end. Stjernberg, not afraid at all of physicality. He's always willing to jump into a fight or a hit. But so you saw both of them kind of take out some of their stars to keep them ready for tomorrow's game, see if they can come in with cool heads tomorrow.
And again, 4-1 win for Bowling Green over St. Thomas, and really not a whole lot you can criticize about Bowling Green. If they play this well the rest of the season, it's going to be a tall order to stop the Falcons until you get into the NCAA. But we can worry about that later. We'll worry about the standings and talking about those tomorrow. But we will give you around the CCHA recap. Bemidji State and Michigan Tech, a final 5-3 win for Bemidji State. They led 5-1 for a while, and then a power play goal by Matthew Campbell and an extra goal by Chase Pietola, the defenseman for Michigan Tech. Superfluous goals in the end. Bemidji wins by 2 scores. That's key for Bowling Green as Michigan Tech sits in the 3rd spot, Bowling Green in the 4th spot. They complete a win at 4-1 over St. Thomas. Lake Superior State completes a win 3-2 over Northern Michigan. Connor Milburn with 2 points in that game. Dawson Tritt with 2 as well. And Nate Schweitzer with 2 assists over Northern Michigan. And then Minnesota State leads Augustana 2-1 right now. Caden Bolson and Adam Isley, the 2 goals for Minnesota State. And Quinn Rudrud, the 1 goal for Augustana. That's around the CCHA. If I had to guess without doing the math, Augustana and Minnesota State are going to stay 1-2 no matter what happens. Michigan Tech is probably going to fall down to the 4th spot. BG is probably going to rise up to the 3rd spot, but we'll see how it goes tomorrow. And when I talk with Carter Leonard on the broadcast tomorrow at 7 p.m., same time as tonight here in the Slater Family Ice Arena on WBGU 88.1 FM. So certainly tune into that game or come watch it in person on a beautiful Saturday night. Nathan, it was a pleasure as always calling with you. Holden Ruck back in the board room. You unfortunately did not win Pick the Stick today. You didn't even score a point. You were the only one of us. Oh, no, you did score a point. Nathan, you were the only one that didn't score a point.
Oh, no.
I apologize. That's okay. Jackson Niedermeyer didn't get on the board. Holden Ruck, our board operator, scored a half a point with a Norris assist. I scored 1 point with a Brett Foe goal. Lucas Kleinmeyer scored 1.5 points with the Ryan O'Hara goal and assist. But Tyler Kavelitz chose Cole Moore, who allowed only 2 goals, or only 1 goal in this game, scored 2 points, and got the win for Tyler Kavelitz. He's up to 3 straight wins in our Pick the Stick for the Falcon Media Sports Network, and I believe leads the Falcon Media Sports Network right now, and that he does. He's sitting at 5 points. Lucas Kleinmeyer sits at 4.5. Myself and the field of FMSN sits at 4. So we'll keep updating you at that. Tyler's going to be happy after this game, and he's got a basketball game to call tomorrow against Coastal Carolina here in Bowling Green, Ohio. I believe that is a 1 o'clock start, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if you know off the top of your head, Nathan.
I do not.
Yeah, we are going to have a basketball game tomorrow. Arkansas State women's basketball tomorrow as well, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Lucas Kleinmeyer on the broadcast with Caden Knapp as the board operator, and a recap available at bgfalconmedia.com. Coastal Carolina will be played at 2 p.m. Artie Abrego, I believe, is going to be on the call with Foster Rostai, if I'm not mistaken. I'll be board operating that game. That's going to be on Falcon Radio, not this station of WBGU 88.1 FM. And then tomorrow we'll go over the rest of the schedule for the rest of the week. But certainly tune in to Falcon Radio at 2, WBGU at 3, and then tomorrow night, 7 p.m. on this station for BGSU hockey, trying to complete a sweep over the University of St. Thomas Tommies. Nathan, pleasure calling with you as always. Thank you to Rick Crow for sponsoring our travel this season, and we'll talk to you tomorrow night. You're listening to BGSU Hockey on WBGU 88.1 FM.
This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to bgfalconmedia.com.